Chapter 2261 New Anti-Fang Alliance. Wang Xiao'er woke up from his sleep. Wasn't I imprisoned? Where am I now? Wang Xiao'er was puzzled. He found that he was in a vast wasteland. Quickly, escape, escape, escape. A large wave of humans suddenly surged out. Crack. With a loud sound, lightning struck the ground. Following that, the earth and mountains shook. Explosions occurred loudly as the ground began to collapse. In 10 or so breaths of time, the surrounding Tenli had become a giant crater. The crater enclosed all the people including Wang Xiao'er. Wang Xiao'er was dazed as he was sandwiched between the crowd. The surrounding people were in disorder and panic. Wang Xiao'er also had the same feelings. He did not know what happened. Before this, he was captured by Fang Dongxi in Sandheap Blessed Land. Fang Dongxi soul-searched him and obtained information regarding Hu Land. During the contest over Sandheap Blessed Land, Fang Dongxi lost his soul cores. Fortunately, Fang Dongxi captured Wang Xiao'er and obtained the secret information regarding Hu Land. Fang Dongxi used this precious information to make up for his mistake. On another hand, he also learned of the peculiarity of Wang Xiao'er's body. Fang Dongxi imprisoned Wang Xiao'er in his immortal aperture, and specially constructed an underground prison. He studied and experimented on Wang Xiao'er's body many times, but still did not understand what was going on with Wang Xiao'er's body. All of you, shut up. A figure suddenly appeared in the sky. Wang Xiao'er and others looked up. Your ancestor Fang Dongxi has already died in battle, everything is now all my, Xiao Yihu's, property. You are also my captives. Stay here, I will make sure you live a life worse than death if you dare to escape. Xiao Yihu's expression was cold and malevolent. The chaotic crowd was shivering like a cicada under his threat. Fang Dongxi and Fang Enlei died in battle to protect Fang Dichong. They were both rank 7 GU immortals. Their immortal apertures fell to the ground and opened to absorb heaven and earth chi, becoming unowned blessed lands. Xiao Yihu took the chance to enter and plunder his battle spoils. But the plundered resources did not satisfy Xiao Yihu. His loss was extremely severe. His immortal GU house chamber pot was destroyed by Fang Dong. Even emptying Fang Dongzai's immortal aperture only made up for a meager amount of the losses. This won't do, Wan clan must give me an answer. Xiao Yihu's expression was unsightly. After he stabilized Dongxi Blessed Land's situation, he quickly left to look for Wan clan. At this time, the Anti-Fang Alliance had already succeeded in regaining the blessed land of Wan clan's headquarters. The Anti-Fang Alliance immortals were resting here for the moment. Xiao Yihu went up to a hall. He restrained his unsightly expression and said loudly, Senior Wan Jiyu Cho, I, Junior Xiao Yihu, am here as Xiao clan's representative. Please meet me, we need to discuss some matters. Times had changed. Wan Jiyu Cho suddenly revived and defeated Fang clan. Her impressive might shook the whole of Western Desert's GU immortal world. In front of such an expert, Xiao Yihu had to restrain himself. Soon, Xiao Yihu received permission. He entered the hall and saw Wan Jiyu Cho sitting on the main seat. Wan Jiyu Cho was wearing a white garment, her hair was silvery white, she looked quite old. Wan Hao Guang was standing to her left, with Wan Xiao on her right. He. She looked at Xiao Yihu and laughed, her laughter was hoarse and terrifying. Junior from Xiao clan, you came at the right time. I have something to discuss with you. Take a seat and wait for a moment. Okay, Xiao Yihu did not dare to retort, he chose a seat to sit. After a short while, other Anti-Fang Alliance GU immortals were also invited into the hall. Even Heavenly Court's 2 GU immortals, Wan Zihong and Zhou Shangxin, were present. Wan Jiyu Cho looked around and said, although Fang clan was defeated, they stole many of my clan's resource points. My Wan clan is unable to pay the price agreed upon with your clans. But, this is a huge opportunity for us. Fang clan suffered a heavy loss, their strength has fallen sharply. As long as we give chase, Fang clan will not be able to defend. They have fallen to the demonic path, we must get rid of them. At that time, we will all get a share of the battle spoils. The immortals felt a chill as they listened. This Wan Jiyu Cho was so shameless, directly saying she did not have a way to pay them, forcing the Anti-Fang Alliance to continue fighting. Her methods were also vicious, she wanted to follow up the victory by giving chase and eradicating Fang clan. But this was indeed a good opportunity. The immortals were moved. Fang clan sold a large number of Wan clan's resource points, but sold very few of their own resource points. Their foundation was still there. Now was the perfect time to beat them down. Wan clan is sinister, they deliberately concealed Wan Jiyu Cho and kept us in dark. Wan Jiyu Cho kept on hiding, she only made a move when we crumbled. And with just one move, she defeated Fang Clan, creating the current situation which is most favorable to Wan Clan. On the surface, Wan Clan transacted the most with Shao Clan. In reality, their biggest collaborator is Heavenly Court. None of the immortals here were stupid, they had already realized the situation. If Wan Jiuqiu had made a move earlier, even if the Anti-Fang Alliance defeated Fang Clan, most of the battle merits would belong to the Alliance Jiu Immortals. But Wan Jiuqiu made a move only at the final juncture, immediately revitalizing Wan Clan's prestige. The Alliance Immortals did not have the qualifications to talk of their merits or shamelessly ask for payment. We need to eradicate evil completely. Fang Clan broke the rules. What right does such a demonic super clan have to continue existing in Western Desert's Jiu Immortal world? I agree with Senior Wan Jiuqiu's plan. But we should discuss how we distribute the spoils. The Immortals had participated in the previous large battle, they all suffered losses, some needed to urgently make up for them, like Xiao Yihu. Some thought that since they had to undergo danger, they might as well reap benefits. Seeing the Jiu Immortals expressing their agreement, Wan Jiuqiu looked at the two Heavenly Court Jiu Immortals. Heavenly Court has been the leader of humanity since ancient times, the banner of the righteous path. We will need your help in this battle. Wan Jiuqiu was deeply aware. Compared to Western Desert's Jiu Immortals, Heavenly Court's financial support was much more important. Without Heavenly Court's support, Wan Clan had no way to attack Fang Clan. Wan Clan would have to pay a lot to collaborate with Heavenly Court, but the gains were also equally great. Wan Jiuqiu herself was revived by Heavenly Court. Right now, a lot of her rank 8-time Path Immortal Jiu were lent by Heavenly Court. Even her Everlasting Sorrow killer move was personally modified by Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. Zhou Shangxin and Wan Zihong glanced at each other. All the development so far did not exceed Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's calculations. This was also the moment that these two Heavenly Court Immortals were waiting for. At the next moment, Zhou Shangxin stood up. Friends of Western Desert, it is my Heavenly Court duty to eliminate the demonic path. We are very happy to support you. Right now, Fang Clan's calamity is in front of them. Why did they have such guts to attack the Alliance? The true underlying issue is not Fang Clan, but Eastern Sea's Heaven Refining Demon Venerable. Heavenly Court is willing to continue to support you, but our condition is that you are not allowed to join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. The hall fell into silence as Jiu Immortals looked at each other. Wan Jiuqiu broke the silence. My Wan Clan agrees. Wan Clan had already become Heavenly Court's supporter through the Anti-Fang battle. Wan Jiuqiu spoke. Xiao Yihu, what do you think? Xiao Yihu's expression was quite unsightly. Wan Jiuqiu intentionally picked his name and forced him into a corner. He had no choice but to state his position. He snorted coldly. I, Xiao Yihu, am obviously not willing to associate with the demonic path, but that is just my individual stance. How can I casually represent my Xiao clan in agreeing to this? I have to ask for guidance from my Xiao clan's first supreme elder. It was a delaying tactic. But Zhou Shangxin had already expected it. Then, Xiao Yihu, please contact your clan's leading Jiu Immortals right now. I believe that the difference between righteous and demonic is deeply rooted in people's hearts. Xiao Clan is one of the role models of Western Desert's righteous path. You will not make a mistake in this major matter. Wan Jiuqiu immediately nodded, echoing Heavenly Court Immortals. Let's do it like this, friends, please ask for guidance from your clan's leaders, and we will then discuss the matter of the distribution of spoils. She pretended to be tolerant. If any clan is not willing, we will not criticize them. In this Anti-Fang battle, you do not have any merits but you worked hard. If you don't want to continue in the Anti-Fang Alliance, my Wan Clan will bid you farewell and won't make things difficult for you. The Immortals cursed inwardly. They had not gotten any payment, or maybe only a small portion of it. If they did not agree to Heavenly Court's condition, Wan Jiuqiu was going to drive them away from the Anti-Fang Alliance. Only if they were in the Anti-Fang Alliance could they get their payment as well as the battle spoils in the upcoming battle against Fang Clan. A while later, the Jiu Immortals finished asking for instructions. No one left. Under the pressure of righteousness, Western Desert's super clans could not risk going against public opinion and leaving the alliance. Moreover, if they left the alliance at this point, they could not get any benefits. Fang Clan was like a piece of fat meat that lured these colossal vultures. Good, you have not let me down. Wan Jiuqiu stood up and said with a smile. Right now, a new opportunity lay before her. She was now the alliance leader of the Anti-Fang Alliance. As long as she led the alliance and defeated Fang Clan, her reputation would rise to the peak of Western Desert's Jiu Immortal world. At that time, she would be like Wu Yong, becoming the publicly recognized leader of the Western Desert GU Immortal world. Zhou Shangxin and Wan Zihong were smiling. This was all within star constellation Immortal Venerable's calculations. It was very advantageous for Heavenly Court to help Wan Ji Cho become the leader of Western Desert. Fang Yuan is number 1 in GU refinement, but how can he be star constellation Immortal Venerable's match in terms of methods? Zhou Shangxin laughed inwardly. The very day, Wan Ji Cho announced the establishment of the new Anti-Fang alliance. With the revival of this strongest expert of Wan clan, the situation of the whole Western Desert GU Immortal world changed suddenly. Almost all the GU Immortals of the 5 regions were paying close attention to it. This contest ended in Heavenly Court's victory. Fang clan is in danger. I did not expect Heavenly Court to be able to revive other GU Immortals and not just their own Heavenly Court members. The big picture is still under the control of the Venerables. If Fang Yuan were to make a move, this Wan Ji Cho will only be a minor joke. HMPH, Fang Yuan can make a move, but can't Star Constellation Immortal Venerable do the same? Haha, it's best if the two Venerables fight, then Ancestor Giant Sun can reap the benefits of their conflict. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2262 Righteousness with Benefits to Gain. Chapter 2262 Righteousness with Benefits to Gain. Back in Western Desert. Myriad or Desert. Shi Zhang looked at the message from Shi Clan with an indifferent expression. Fang Clan lost. Looks like Shi Kong has another chance now. However, Fang Clan only lost 2 rank 7 GU Immortals and 3 Immortal GU houses, they still have some battle strength left. Shi Zhang was a person who was ostracized by Shi Clan, while Shi Kong was a rising star who was nurtured by the clan. Shi Zhang flattered Shi Kong on the surface, but was envious and hated him inwardly. Regardless of the battle results, it has nothing to do with me. I still need to rely on myself. Shi Zhang gritted his teeth as he thought of how his recent attempt at refining wealth Immortal GU failed again. The thought of asking Fang Yuan to help refine GU flashed in his mind. Shi Zhang gritted his teeth as he made a decision. Looks like I must sell some wealth Mortal GU. Shi Zhang had not received any support, and had spent almost all his assets in his attempts to refine wealth Immortal GU. He was already dirt poor right now. He had to sell some stuff to exchange for immortal materials for another attempt at GU refinement. The things he could sell were only wealth Mortal GU. Although he had failed in his refinement repeatedly, he also had some gains. He could not refine wealth Immortal GU, but he had refined wealth Mortal GU. Connecting to Treasure Yellow Heaven, Shi Zhang hesitated for a long while before choosing to put a dozen or so wealth Mortal GU in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Wealth Mortal GU gathered into a lump and formed a pillar of treasure light. There was an abundant amount of treasure light, but these were clearly Mortal GU. Such an abnormality attracted the attention of other GU. Immortals. What GU is this? How can it form such a treasure light? Nu Ertu asked. It had been more than a year since he advanced to a rank 6 GU Immortal. Although it was due to the help of Nu tribe, he was still a newbie rank 6 GU Immortal. Whenever he had time, he would connect to Treasure Yellow Heaven and explore with his divine sense to increase his knowledge. Nu Ertu was the great-grandson of GU Immortal Nu Kai. He had also participated in the final Imperial Court contest. He was proficient in enslaving leopards and had been recognized as one of the 5 Beast Kings by Northern Plains GU Masters, along with Fang Yuan's disguise of Chongshan Yin. This is wealth GU. Shi Zhang replied. Nu Ertu was stunned, and asked with even more curiosity, wealth GU. Isn't this the legendary GU recorded in less than greater than? But this mortal GU, Shi Zhang snorted coldly, I painstakingly researched and created its mortal GU recipe. These rank 5 mortal GU can turn into any rank 5 GU material. Nu Ertu's mind shook, asking, any rank 5 GU material? Can it be used multiple times? Shi Zhang's voice was softer now, these are one-time consumable GU. If not for this, he would not have taken them out to sell. Shi Zhang had been trying to refine immortal level wealth GU. If he sold many wealth mortal GU, there was the risk of someone deducing its immortal GU recipe. At that time, it would be the same as Shi Zhang creating his own rivals. If he had an alternative, Shi Zhang would not sell these wealth GU. Moreover, he was only selling a dozen of these mortal GU. Nu Ertu thought, these wealth GU can only turn into any rank 5 GU material, they are not practical. As a GU immortal, which rank 5 GU material can't we get? But this involves the legendary wealth GU, it is not a bad idea to buy some for research or give to others. Nu too asked for the price, but soon, his divine sense fluctuated intensely. You are asking for such a high price for immortal GU. Are you insane? Shi Zhang said. At first glance, using immortal GU to exchange for immortal materials is indeed a fantasy. But just think of it, as long as you have these mortal GU, you have the chance to deduce its immortal GU recipe. Just think about it, how high of a value does wealth immortal GU have? I will be honest, these mortal GU are one of a kind in this world, and it is likely that only these many are left. I also obtained these from a fortuitous encounter. Unfortunately, I have no proficiency in GU refinement. If not for me lacking funds, I would not be selling them. How much do you want? If you buy 3, I can give you a discount. Shi Zhang had a glib tongue. Nu too fell into hesitation. Shi Zhang's words were reasonable. But was it worth it to use a large amount of immortal materials to exchange for a hope of deducing an immortal GU recipe? Nu too was not stupid, his thoughts changed as he said, it is not an issue to buy 2 or 3 wealth mortal GU. But I would like to know something, where did you obtain these? Shi Zhang was immediately vigilant, your question is somewhat going overboard. I don't want to get into any trouble. Moreover, if I really did what you want and gave you the information, how can you confirm if it is real? That is true. Nu too hesitated once again. Right at this time, another divine sense said excitedly, wealth GU are actually here. I will buy them, I will buy all of the stock that you have. Shi Zhang responded, friend, please be calm and listen to my price. The mysterious GU immortal stopped for a while after hearing the price, before nodding, all right, I want all of them. Shi Zhang was dazed, while Nu too was vigilant. Shi Zhang thought, and said, it is not that I don't want to sell them all to you, but you came slightly late. This friend here came first and our deal is almost done. Shi Zhang did not want to sell all the wealth GU to one person. If he did that, there would be too many clues, and the possibility of deducing an immortal GU recipe would be very high. This mysterious GU immortal's attitude made Shi Zhang feel that something was strange. Just in case, he hoped to sell some to Nu too. But Nu too backed out. This mysterious GU immortal appeared just as I was hesitating. Is this a scheme to urge me to buy some wealth GU? Nu too had heard of such scams. In the end, he gave up the notion of buying any. Shi Zhang hesitated for a while, he had no choice but to sell all the wealth GU to the mysterious GU immortal. After gathering enough immortal materials, he left Treasure Yellow Heaven to prepare for GU refinement once again. He really sold them. Nu too felt somewhat disappointed, and that mysterious GU immortal left Treasure Yellow Heaven after obtaining wealth GU. He was Spirit Butterfly Valley's GU immortal Xiao Baihong. Xiao Baihong handed these wealth GU to rank 5 GU master Xiao Qixing who was standing beside him. Xiao Qixing was Xiao Baihong's great-grandson, one of the 10 children of human path who obtained huge support from Heavenly Court. Xiao Baihong said, Qixing, are these wealth GU really helpful to you? Xiao Qixing said, Great-grandfather, I cultivate human path and have recently obtained a GU immortal true inheritance by chance. This true inheritance is incomplete, but it has 10 or so immortal GU recipes of justice GU. The most exceptional immortal GU recipe among them uses wealth immortal GU as the supplementary material to refine justice immortal GU. Right now, although we don't have wealth immortal GU, we can modify that immortal GU recipe based on these mortal GU. Once we refine justice immortal GU, I can use it as my vital GU and officially become a human path GU immortal. All of the 10 children of human path were aware of the advantages of this path, thus they all planned to become human path GU immortals. But to do that, they needed a human path GU worm as their vital GU. Xiao Qixing had great ambitions, he wanted to obtain rank 6 Justice Immortal GU and make it his vital GU. If his immortal ascension went smoothly, under the ideal conditions, his vital GU would also advance to become rank 7. Like that, rank 6 Xiao Qixing would have a rank 7 vital immortal GU. Justice GU is no doubt a human path GU worm. Using it together with Soldier GU, Sergeant GU, Lieutenant GU, and so on, I can use the human path killer move, Commander of Justice. This move may become my trump card. Xiao Qixing excitedly explained his cultivation plan. Xiao Baihong laughed loudly, stroking Xiao Qixing's head. Good, 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 since you have such lofty ambitions, I will use all our resources to lend you a hand. Southern border, Tai clan. Good, 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 righteousness exists in people's hearts after all. Tai Ku-zhong laughed heartily. Lord Ku-zhong, what could make you so happy? A female voice resounded. Tai Ku-zhong looked to the side and saw a heroic-looking rank 5 female GU master. He smiled. Ah, Tai Ruo-nan. Look, this is the latest battle report about Western Desert's Fang clan. Tai Ku-zhong handed an information path mortal GU to Tai Ruo-nan. Tai Ruo-nan looked into the GU, her expression was slightly moved. So this happened while we were in closed cultivation inside Demon Suppression Tower. Tai Ku-zhong said. I already felt that Fang clan was a shoddy force, they got involved with Fang Yuan, they are the shame of Western Desert's righteous path, they don't even have any of the righteous path's demeanor. Now, it looks like I was right. Fang clan's members are completely insane to associate with a demon like Fang Yuan. Now, they have been defeated, this miserable defeat will be Fang Yuan's outcome in the future. Tai Ruo-nan nodded. Since ancient times, righteousness has always triumphed over evil. The demonic path can be rampant for a while, but the strength and hope of the righteous path will exist in this world forever. These two had always hated Fang Yuan. First, Tai clan's behavior had always been to destroy the demonic path. Second, the two hated Fang Yuan personally. There was no need to speak about Tai Ruo-nan, the hatred had already incurred back in Qingmao Mountain when her father died. Tai Ku-zhong had once participated in hunting down Fang Yuan, but was captured by the latter and his edge immortal GU was stolen as well. Although he was released in the end, his immortal aperture was also taken away by Fang Yuan. Tai Ku-zhong could only restart his cultivation, he was still a GU master now. Tai Ruo-nan continued to analyze. Heavenly Court is worthy of being the role model of the righteous path, the leader of humanity. They supported Wan clan by reviving Wan Gu Cho, they would rather support with immortal Gu, immortal essence stones and so on, than to directly interfere in Western Desert's political affairs. This is the noble demeanor of the righteous path. Fang clan's threat is not the destruction of Wan clan. Wan clan is only one of the many forces, there are still a large number of super forces even if it is destroyed. Fang clan's greatest threat is the fact that they can corrupt people's hearts, making other GU immortals and super forces join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. But now, Heavenly Court has given another option to everyone. Heavenly Court has immortal essence stones, they can support with immortal GU, and even revive GU immortals. One clan must have paid a huge price to obtain such support. This is Heavenly Court's deep intention. Only righteousness with benefits to gain can be promoted and wildly spread to everyone. Such righteousness is firm and stable. An overly virtuous type of righteousness is instead dubious and hypocritical, it cannot be widely spread, and will only make righteousness seem weak. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2263 Selling to the Point of Bankruptcy Chapter 2263 Selling to the Point of Bankruptcy. Tai Ku-zhong nodded his head repeatedly, he looked at Tai Ruo-nan with an unconcealed gaze of appreciation. Previously, when Tai Ku-zhong heard that Tai Mi and Shen chose Tai Ruo-nan to inherit the Iron Mask true inheritance, he had some doubts. But over this period of interaction, Tai Ku-zhong fully approved of Tai Ruo-nan, he felt that she was the rising star with most potential in this generation. Tai Ruo-nan, it is great that you have such a deep awareness of the situation. Fang Yuan is evil, he seized my immortal aperture and forced me to use second aperture to cultivate, causing me to be dependent on him. My future is ruined, my prospects are bleak. But you have bright prospects. Your current accumulation is already enough to undergo immortal ascension. Tai Ku-zhong said in a gratified tone. Tai Ruo-nan did not pretend to be modest. Yes. I was in closed cultivation inside Demon Suppression Tower recently, I have consulted many seniors in the clan regarding their immortal ascension experience, I am 80 to 90% confident in passing the immortal ascension. Good, but you need to slow down a little. The two heavens are merging, causing constant turbulence and heavens will to be chaotic, you will suffer losses if you undergo immortal ascension at this time. The opportunity of natural inspiration comes only once in a lifetime, but it is very important. Tai Ku-zhong instructed. Oh, I would like to hear the details. Tai Ku-zhong explained. In the process of natural inspiration, a GU cultivator can question heavens will and obtain an answer. If the question is too difficult and surpasses the limits of heaven and earth, you won't obtain any answer. For instance, if you ask for a method of eternal life during natural inspiration, heaven and earth has no way to answer you. If the question is too simple, the GU cultivator can obtain an answer, but they will not be making the best use of this precious opportunity. That will be extremely unfortunate. The ideal situation is to ask a question of moderate difficulty and obtain a perfect answer. But this situation is too rare, and we have no way to grasp it. So, the most mature method is to ask a slightly more difficult question. As such, the answer will be correct but not complete, as it will be lacking a small portion. The remaining portion can be completed through deductions using manpower and material resources in the future. This is the most effective way to use natural inspiration. Tai Ruo Nan's eyes shined as she asked, "Then how can I judge the difficulty of these questions?" Generally speaking, asking about immortal GU recipes of common rank 7 immortal GU is the standard for this. Any GU worms related to less than greater than are not ordinary GU. Besides this, ask about things closely related to you. For instance, you cultivate metal path, ask questions relating to metal path. But if you ask about earth path or other paths, the effect will be low. And you need to be very careful if you want to ask about things relating to dream path. At the same time, southern border, Iron Tooth Mountain. In a nameless cave, Wu Yong cupped his fists and greeted with a smile, "I brought some good wine this time." In front of Wu Yong was an old GU immortal. He was sitting cross-legged on the ground. He slowly opened his eyes like he had just woken up. The old man sighed, "Lord Wu Yong, this is the third time you have paid me a visit. You are a rank 8 GU cultivator, the alliance leader of Southern Alliance, but have given such special treatment to a mere rank 7 GU immortal like me. I understand your intention, but I only want to cultivate in seclusion. I have no wish to participate in the struggles and conflicts of the world. Your wine is fragrant, but I don't have the fortune to enjoy it." This old man was a secluded cultivator. He cultivated wisdom path and was called Forgotten Taoist. Wu clan specialized in wind path. They had no advantages in wisdom path. Wu Yong had been looking for reliable talents. When he learned that Forgotten Taoist was living on Iron Tooth Mountain, he personally visited 3 times to recruit him. Wu Yong said grimly, "Friend, you are wrong. Right now, the 2 heavens are merging, the war of the 5 regions is almost before us. Who can possibly stay out of it? Even if you are unwilling to conflict with others, in this chaotic world, there are always people who want to cause trouble, like Western Desert's Fang clan." With some support from Fang Yuan, Fang clan decisively invaded Wan clan, causing Wan clan's first supreme elder to perish in battle. This is the signal of the upcoming chaotic world. Even if Heavenly Court supported Wan clan to victory, what is the main difference between Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Fang Yuan? As a Wisdom Path GU cultivator, you must have understood it. Forgotten Taoist heaved a long sigh. It is better to be a dog during peaceful times, than a man involved in brutal chaos. In the present world, Great Love Immortal Venerable, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable are leading an ultimate force of a region each. They have robust foundation, they can easily topple the balance between super forces. As for you, Wu Yong, you can hardly restrain your excitement and urge to make a move, but I can only see misery in this. Lord Wu Yong, you don't need to urge me anymore, please leave." Wu Yong sighed. He could only hold his expectations for the future. After looking at Forgotten Taoist, he left while feeling it was a deep pity. This world was huge. There was Shi Zhang who worked hard and tried to refine immortal GU. There was also Xiao Qixing who used his great-grandfather's help to attempt a rank 7 vital GU even before advancing to GU Immortal. There was Nu too, who already advanced to a GU Immortal with the clan's help. There was also a GU Master, Tai Ruo Nan, who cultivated Metal Path. She obtained her senior's guidance and learned of the secret of natural inspiration. There was Wu Yong with great ambition, and also Forgotten Taoist, who was content with living in seclusion and was unwilling to get involved in disputes. And finally, there was a super force whose future was dark and currently faced a precarious situation, Fang Clan. In Fang Clan headquarters, the atmosphere was heavy in the discussion hall. Fang Clan lost. Their losses were severe. What should they do? Be it Fang Gong, Fang Dichong, or Fang Leng and Fang Yun, their mood was extremely heavy. Wan Ji Yu Cho reclaimed all the lost territories of Wan clan, but the anti-Fang alliance was still there. If not for the alliance discussing the distribution of spoils, they would have already attacked Fang clan. Although Fang clan still had the strength to fight, their hope of winning was negligible. Right at this time, Lu Weiyin suddenly paid a visit. The Fang clan immortals were moved. "Quick, invite him in." Fang Gong had just finished speaking, when he stood up. "No, come with me, we will welcome him together." Fang clan's immortals invited Lu Weiyin into the hall. Lu Weiyin saw the dejected expressions of Fang clan immortals. Everlasting sorrow is indeed an amazing killer move. According to what I know, everlasting sorrow is a compound killer move created from time path and wisdom path. Once the target's feelings are influenced by this killer move, their lifespan will decrease rapidly. The decreased lifespan will strengthen the killer move's power, making the sorrowful emotions even more violent. The emotions will shroud the heart, and the target's battle intent will fall to a minimum. Fang Huasheng sighed. This killer move is a lot different from the historical records. I tried my best to treat it, but there are still many negative emotions left in our hearts, they can only dissipate slowly with time. Lu Weiyin laughed. Don't worry, I brought a special Immortal GU this time, please try it. Saying so, he gave an Immortal GU to Fang Dichong. This was a rank 7 Wisdom Path Immortal GU. After Fang Dichong activated it with much difficulty, the Immortal GU let out a profound light that covered his whole body. After a while, Fang Dichong recovered his mental state. His body was relaxed and the sorrowful emotions that shrouded his heart were already gone. This is a good Immortal GU. Fang Dichong praised. Lu Weiyin continued his words. My alliance leader knows of Fang clan's defeat, so he specially refined this Immortal GU. With this Wisdom Path Immortal GU, it is easy to remove the remnant power of the killer move Everlasting Sorrow. Besides this Immortal GU, there are also several killer moves with it as the core. One of them can even defend against Everlasting Sorrow, albeit with difficulty. You only need to pay a super resource point to buy them all. Fang Dichong smiled bitterly and was about to speak. But Lu Weiyin added, no need to grieve, my friends. I know Fang clan lost Fang Dongxi and Fang Enlei in this battle. This is a disastrous loss for Fang clan. But no worries. Heavenly Court has methods to revive Wan Ji Yu Cho, how can my Lord Fang Yuan not have them? You only need to pay 2 giant resource points for Lord Alliance Leader to revive those 2, but their cultivation will be at rank 6. This time, the Fang clan immortals' expressions changed. Really? Can Enlei really be revived? Fang Chen was very excited. He was Fang clan's son-in-law, Fang Enlei was his wife. Lu Weiyin smiled. In the previous transactions with your clan, there was one transaction which asked for your human qi. These portions of human qi are the key to reviving you. There are no issues with the revival. Not only this, there is also no issue with restoring the cultivation of those 2 to rank 7. You just need to add 2 additional giant resource points. Naturally, if you want those 2's cultivation to be raised to rank 8, that is also possible. As long as you can afford it, with the vast powers of our Lord Alliance Leader, you will not be disappointed. Even rank 8 cultivation level can be transacted. Fang Gong was stunned. The other Fang clan GU immortals had complicated expressions. Rank 8 cultivation level had once been the highest achievement, but in the last few decades, pseudo-venerables took the stage one after the other, venerables also started reviving. The status of rank 8 cultivation fell again and again. Now, rank 8 cultivation had become a commodity to be transacted at will. This made the Fang clan immortals become somewhat dazed. Lu Weiyin looked around and asked, you still don't get it? The world has already undergone an intense change ever since the destruction of Fate GU. This is true for Immortal GU houses, rank 8 GU immortals, and even venerables. This change can be said to completely flip societal norms, even super forces will only be a ripple in the waves of time if they cannot adapt to this change, wiped out in just a moment. Fang Dichong narrowed his eyes. Lord Lu Weiyin, you seem to have another meaning behind your words. Lu Weiyin chuckled. I will be direct then, your situation is very dangerous, how will Fang clan defend against the anti-Fang alliance? If you just defend, no matter how much more powerful the immortal formation you possess, you will only be delaying your destruction. You can only deal with this intense change by taking drastic measures. Naturally, the choice belongs to you. Lord Alliance Leader will not personally interfere in Western Desert's internal battle. But if I were you, I would sell all the resource points to exchange for Immortal GU, Immortal materials, and revive Fang clan's GU immortals. Fang Gong's and Fang Dicheng's pupils shrunk slightly. The remaining GU immortals were in an uproar. How can we do that? Such an action is too unfilial. Our Fang clan's foundation will be gone without these resource points. If we do this, how can we face our ancestors when we die? This is my Fang clan's foundation. The Fang clan immortals reacted agitatedly, looking at Lu Weiyin with hatred and ferocity. Lu Weiyin shrugged his shoulders, saying calmly, whether you sell or not, it is up to you. I am only giving a small suggestion. We will sell. Fang Dicheng's voice was extremely hoarse. Fang Gong did not retort, he kept silent. Lord Fang Dichong, some Fang clan GU immortals stood up in agitation. But Fang Dichang's next sentence silenced these GU immortals completely. If we don't sell the resource points, are you able to defend them? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2264 Where there's life, there's hope. Chapter 2264. Where there's life, there's hope. Sitting on a deserted mound, Fang Dichang was still as a rock. Ever since the two heavens merged, there was no longer day or night, in place of that was a mix of black and white in the sky. Thus, different areas had different intensity of brightness. Fang Dichang was currently in the darkness. He looked at the empty mound expressionlessly. It was a barren desert with no vegetation in sight. But because of the fusion of two heavens, this huge desert was split into two areas. One was bright while the other was dark. This was Tassel Desert, a super resource point of Fang clan. Every year, at a certain period, earth roots would grow here like grass or willow branches. They were soft but durable. The earth roots were long or short. They ranged from mortal materials to rank 8 immortal materials. At peak growth, the earth roots would cover the entire Tassel Desert. When wind blew, looking from above, it would seem like a huge sea made of earth roots. The waves would look grand and impressive. This was Fang clan's #1 resource point. It was the pride of all Fang clan GU immortals. But now, it was being sold to Fang Yuan. Once this transaction was done, it would never be returned. This was farewell. Fang Dichang had a plain expression, but his heart was like this desert. It was barren and cold. Fang Gong flew over from afar. He landed on the barren mound and stood beside Fang Dichang. I knew you were here. Fang Gong sighed. Fang Dichang, who was seated, suddenly had a twisted expression as he clenched his fists. Fang Yuan did this on purpose. I'm afraid he has known about Wan Jiu Cho all along, but he did not say it and caused our clan to suffer a huge loss. Fang Gong was stunned. Fang Dichang continued. Even if he did not know about Wan Jiu Cho, he concealed the secret that he could revive our clan's GU immortals. As long as he mentioned it, even if he vaguely hinted it, I would have known. If I had known that Venerables are able to easily revive GU immortals, I would be on guard against a threat like Wan Jiu Cho. In fact, we might have exchanged for that forgotten sorrow immortal GU earlier. If we could defend against Wan Jiu Cho's killer move, we would not have lost. The alliance against one clan would have succeeded. Towards the end, Fang Dichang was basically screaming his lungs out. He was right. Back then, the situation was hanging on a thread. The battle between Fang clan and the alliance against Fang clan was very close. If they knew about Wan Jiu Cho, Fang clan would not have sent all 6 immortal GU houses to attack Myriad Age building. Wan Jiu Cho's killer move had a limited range after all. But at that time, Fang clan did not know about this information, so they pressured Wan clan's members to try to obtain the greatest benefit. Alright, Fang Gong smiled bitterly. Since it has already happened, Second Supreme Elder, no need to ponder upon it. We do not have Spring-Autumn Cicada to return to the past. Earlier, when Heavenly Court revived GU Immortals, they were all their members. Everyone guessed that their revival had something to do with their contributed immortal apertures. Furthermore, because Fang Yuan nearly destroyed the entire immortal graveyard, it is very hard to deduce Wan Jiu Cho's revival. Fang Dichang had a cold expression. No, it is Fang Yuan. Everything is caused by Fang Yuan. He is the greatest mastermind behind everything. I have woken up now. Our Fang clan wanted to destroy the anti-Fang alliance. It was not something Heavenly Court wanted to see, but Fang Yuan did not like that either. If our Fang clan obtains victory, we will no longer attack the other super forces. And in this current situation, we need to urgently move and sell our resource points to Fang Yuan in exchange for immortal GU and also to revive GU immortals. Now, what will we do? Without resource points and the ability to provide for ourselves, we can only rely on Fang Yuan increasingly. We can only invade other super forces' resource points and exchange them to Fang Yuan for immortal GU and other cultivation resources. Our Fang clan has become his vanguard. We are his bandits to loot Western Desert. And this GU Fang Yuan is still staying in Eastern Sea. He is the high and mighty great love immortal Venerable. He will declare to everyone that he is not interfering in Western Desert's affairs. All of the vile reputation will be shouldered by my Fang clan alone. He, GU Fang Yuan, has a clean reputation. He. Ha ha ha, what heaven and earth great love alliance. What great love immortal Venerable. Fang Dichang raised his head up and laughed in a pitiful tone of mockery. His eyes were reddened, his hair was messy, the light of tears flickered in his eyes. First Supreme Elder Fang Gong, Think about it, don't you feel that Wan clan's first supreme elder died too peculiarly? With his death, our Fang clan only has one route to take. This is Fang Yuan. He is covered in a false human skin, but he is a vile beast that devours everyone with no hesitation. I hate him, I am truly hateful. Fang Dichong gritted his teeth. I hate that my Fang clan got too involved with Fang Yuan. I hate those Eastern Sea super forces who are too weak and meek, they let Fang Yuan rule over them so easily. However, the one I hate most is myself. To think that I am a wisdom path GU immortal, not only did I fail to expose Fang Yuan's schemes, I caused our entire clan to become his pawns. We were manipulated and toyed around by him. I am the greatest sinner of Fang clan. Saying so, Fang Dichong knelt on the ground, his head was lowered to the ground as he punched the soil below him and cried out loud. This proud wisdom path GU immortal had not lost his composure for over 100 years, he was crying so pitifully now. Fang Gong sighed as he sat down beside Fang Dichong. How could I have not been suspicious about the peculiar death of Wan clan's first supreme elder? But even if this is Fang Yuan's scheme, what can we do? Do we have evidence? Hee. Fang Gong smiled in a weak and powerless way. Even if we have evidence, what can we do to heaven-refining demon Venerable? Fang Gong placed his arm on Fang Dichang's shoulder. Don't lose your cool, second supreme elder, you are the strategist of Fang clan. If the other Fang clan GU immortals see this, what will they think? What will happen to Fang clan's morale? Fang Dichong gritted his teeth and stopped crying. He sat upright and moved shoulder to shoulder with Fang Gong. Fang Gong continued to speak. I feel hatred too, I hate Heavenly Court, I hate Wan clan, I hate Fang Yuan, and I hate you. But similarly, I hate myself the most. As the first supreme elder of Fang clan, I actually lost to Wan Jiyu Chao's killer move. I am like a dog that ran away pitifully, I cannot do anything. My fist is so weak, my body is as fragile as glass. Fang Dichong, you are not the first supreme elder, I am. Who is to blame for Fang clan's current situation? Nobody has committed a greater mistake than me. If death can atone for my sins, I will immediately suicide in front of the Anti-Fang Alliance. But that will not happen. We know the truth behind the righteous path. If Fang clan loses the only rank 8 like me, those people will be even more ruthless. I need to live, I need to raise my fist and show a firm expression, I need to live with my chest held high. That is how I can help Fang clan, I want to make compensation for my sins. I want to atone for my sins through actions. I don't want to be the greatest sinner of our clan, I don't want our clan to end because of my leadership. Do you understand this? Fang Dichong, Fang Gong screamed. Fang Dichong gritted his teeth. He started at Fang Gong, of course I understand. Fang Gong stood up and looked at Tassel Desert as well as the sky, he said. Today's Tassel Desert is like the moving rock crevice of back then. We must learn from the first generation Fang clan immortal ancestor and face our difficulties head on. What is our homeland? It is not these resource points, but ourselves. Where there's life, there's hope. You are right. Fang Dichong also stood up as he showed a determined expression. Our Fang clan still has hope. Immemorial two heavens. Spectral soul demon Venerable's huge mountain-like body charged towards two heavenly court GU immortals, Jun Shenguang and Che Wei. As chi tides blew, a formless pressure enveloped Jun Shenguang and Che Wei. Oh no, why did he come to us? Jun Shenguang frowned tightly. Che Wei sighed. Even if spectral soul demon Venerable is not sane now, we are not his match. Retreat. But these stars were lured here after so much hard work, and this heavenly veil was given to us by star constellation Immortal Venerable. Jun Shenguang gritted his teeth. In the end, he also chose to retreat. The three-headed thousand-armed spectral soul demon Venerable growled and raised hundreds of thick black arms that were the size of ancient trees. He slashed at the space before him. With continuous cracking sounds, the empty space in the sky was torn apart, as if a huge veil was shredded into pieces. And within the veil, there were countless huge stars. Bam 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 spectral soul demon Venerable charged into the field of stars. Along the way, all of the stars that touched his huge body were destroyed. He even used his arms to crush many of the stars he saw. The two heavenly court GU immortals saw that their hard work was being destroyed. They felt extremely angry. But thankfully, stars scattered and flew away. The senseless spectral soul demon Venerable only managed to destroy a small portion of them. Che Wei and Jun Shenguang discussed among themselves. They decided to keep the heavenly veil and bring all of the remaining stars to Central Continent. After all, this was a mission handed out by star constellation Immortal Venerable. This is a heavenly veil. Shen Shang suddenly appeared. Che Wei's and Zhen Shenguang's expressions sank at once, they became very alert. Shen Shang displayed pseudo-venerable battle strength in Crazed Demon Cave, he was a huge enemy to these two. Shen Shang also collected some of the heavenly veil, he looked at spectral soul demon Venerable who was causing destruction to the stars and smiled at the two heavenly court immortals. Can you tell me what heavenly court is collecting these stars for? Che Wei's and Zhen Shenguang's expressions became grim. Shen Shang continued, so be it if you don't tell me. Since you are using the heavenly veil to collect the stars, you must be trying to act secretly, you don't want to be disturbed. In that case, I will take the heavenly veil and expose your actions to the public. Che Wei snorted coldly. Shen Shang, don't go overboard. Fang clan's outcome is also the outcome of all those super forces who joined Fang Yuan. Your Shen clan's good days are coming to an end. Shen Shang squinted. I won't trouble you with my Shen clan's affairs. But what I do know is that your good times are ending now. Retreat. Zhen Shenguang spoke while Che Wei acknowledged the decision. Shen Shang chased and forced these heavenly court immortals to retreat before he returned and stored the collected heavenly veil. The heavenly veil is an extremely precious heaven path immortal material, it is best if I contribute this to Alliance leader Fang Yuan. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2265 Grotto Heaven's Calamity. Chapter 2265 Grotto Heaven's Calamity. Hundreds of stars shot down at profound literature. Grotto Heaven. Old Immortal Hua Yu's subordinates had already heard the news, they waited in vigilance. They're back, quickly activate the Immortal Formation! Exclamation mark quote. Bam bam bam, the stars landed on the Immortal Formation and erupted with immense power. Profound light flashed as the stars broke into countless fragments. The Immortal Formation suffered the heavy impact, the GU Immortals coughed out blood from injuries. A moment later, the tattered Immortal Formation still remained, while several stars continued to attack. Retreat, Old Immortal Hua Yu ordered. Lord, but the Grotto Heaven is right behind us. If anything happens, I refuse to retreat. Even if I have to give up my life, I will defend our home. Even though the GU Immortals were currently weakened, their morale was very high. Profound literature. Grotto Heaven was originally condensed into a small dot in empty space, no matter how the stars flew outside, it was unaffected. But with the fusion of two heavens, an intense change occurred. All of the two heavens, Grotto Heavens that were hidden, were forced to reveal themselves. Currently, behind the half-broken Immortal Formation was Profound Literature. Grotto Heaven's entrance. Even though the entrance was shut, it was exposed and could not be hidden. Old Immortal Hua Yu shouted, I have my ways, don't hesitate, otherwise, you will lose your lives in vain. The immortals went silent, they quickly dismantled the Immortal Formation and escaped into Profound Literature. Grotto Heaven. They all believed in Old Immortal Hua Yu. Here they come. Old Immortal Hua Yu was alone as he watched the approaching stars, his expression was grim. Immortal Killer Move, cold words. Immortal Killer Move, shattered words. The first move created frost that slowed down the stars. The second move slashed at the stars and shattered them into pieces. However, large star fragments still continued to fly towards him with the remaining force. I'll risk it, Old Immortal Hua Yu shouted loudly, he disregarded his own life and used methods without stopping, eventually blocking all of the star fragments. Goo, he spat out a mouthful of blood, his expression was pale and wounds were all over his body, shining in star path light. With the fusion of two heavens, the flying trajectory of the stars was affected by the heavenly Tao and became chaotic, they were also amplified and became more powerful. Even the rank 8 Old Immortal Hua Yu had great difficulty in blocking them. Old Immortal Hua Yu was about to return when he suddenly turned around, seeing another group of stars flying towards him. If these stars really hit, Profound Literature. Grotto Heaven would not be able to take the impact. His pupils contracted rapidly and his expression froze, but soon, he relaxed. He was resolved for this. Even if he had to sacrifice his life, he had to block them. But at this time, Zhen Shenguang suddenly appeared. Heavenly Veil. He flew while tossing with his hands, he quickly arrived in front of the stars and set up the Heavenly Veil. Once the stars landed on the Heavenly Veil, it started shaking intensely, clear ripples could be seen on it. Heavenly Court's GU Immortal, Zhen Shenguang. Old Immortal Hua Yu's expression froze for a second. Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance's Old Immortal Hua Yu. Zhen Shenguang was slightly stunned and soon felt worried. It was currently the crucial period, if Old Immortal Hua Yu took action, the Heavenly Veil would get destroyed again. But Zhen Shenguang's worries did not end up happening. After 15 minutes passed, old Immortal Hua Yu still watched from the side and did not act. Zhen Shenguang collected the heavenly veil and collected all of the stars successfully. Finally, Zhen Shenguang cast a deep gaze at old Immortal Hua Yu, before dragging the huge heavenly veil bag and leaving with the stars. Old Immortal Hua Yu had a complex expression as he opened the Immortal Aperture's entrance and entered the Grotto Heaven. He was actually saved by Heavenly Court. Throughout the entire profound literature Grotto Heaven, calamities struck everywhere. There were earthquakes and floods, volcanic eruptions caused huge areas of thick smoke in the sky, and acid rain had also been pouring for more than 10 days. With the fusion of two heavens, the heavenly Tao is stirred. Heaven's will is chaotic, and all of our Grotto Heavens that are situated on the heaven vein node are suffering. Life forms have perished, living beings are anguished. Sigh, I am guilty. Old Immortal Hua Yu sighed deeply. He was filled with guilt, helplessness, anger, sadness, and other complex emotions. The GU Immortals of the two heavens Grotto Heavens had deep feelings for their own Grotto Heaven world. This was different from the GU Immortals of the 5 regions. GU Immortals of the two heavens Grotto Heavens were ostracized by the 5 regions. They had to survive in this dangerous place. Most of them were secluded cultivators. Their Grotto Heavens were the final and most important homeland where they could experience peace and comfort. Among these Grotto Heavens, profound literature Grotto Heaven established a dynasty ruled by a single GU Immortal force. It had deep literary development and the citizens saw this homeland as the most precious thing. The Immortals quickly came to greet old Immortal Hua Yu. This was too dangerous. We should get help from the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance again. With the fusion of two heavens, the environment has gotten incredibly dangerous. Those Eastern CGU Immortals live in peace and tranquility. Why would they come here and do such a risky thing? Sigh, it is possible to get their help. But the price to pay is too high. The entire Imperial Court's foundation is running dry. Skeleton Grotto Heaven and others are also asking for help without caring about expenses. This creates a negative effect where Eastern Seas GU Immortals demand higher prices in response. Damn it. Sigh, Lord Alliance leader is not even taking control of this. Great Love Immortal Venerable is busy refining Tao marks or making arrangements in Western Desert. Why would he care about the affairs of our small profound literature Grotto Heaven? In any case, our profound literature Grotto Heaven will get annexed by him eventually. Old Immortal Hua Yu's expression turned solemn as he scolded. Everyone, shut up, don't talk about Lord Alliance leader in such a manner. Even though he said that, old Immortal Hua Yu had a thought flash in his mind. He recalled the deep gaze that Zhen Shenguang showed earlier. Longevity Heaven, golden light rippled constantly in waves. Hold on, hold on. Several GU Immortals among the 8 extremities were controlling Calamity Luck Altar as they tried to stabilize the situation. The entire Longevity Heaven was shaking intensely. The earth shook. Not just Calamity Luck Altar, Bing Sai Chuan was also controlling Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace. However, both Luck Path Immortal GU houses were only barely able to keep the current situation stable. Boom. With a loud sound, the ground cracked and also broke the entire Longevity Heaven into 2. Swoosh swoosh. Waves surged from below, scarlet. Red light soared up into the sky. A vast sea of blood appeared in front of the Immortals. Longevity Heaven has such a huge blood sea. Bing Sai Chuan and the rest were shaken. Heavenly Court. The bright and peaceful atmosphere was no more. Qin Ding Ling, Red Heart Traveler, 9 Spiritual Fairy, Prince Feng Xian, and other members were moving around everywhere. Shabi 95, Ruan Dan, and even Qing Chou were mobilized to stabilize this situation. Both the sky and earth were forming terrifying cracks. The grand palaces had already been dismantled by Heavenly Court's GU Immortals. They were condensed into 10 or more rank 6, 7, and 8 Immortal GU houses. No matter what the situation was, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable did not pay any attention to it. She focused entirely on refining Heavenly Court's Wisdom Path Tao marks. Inside the Sovereign Immortal Aperture, Fang Yuan's soul was lying in the pool water, feeling extremely relaxed. The water was hot and steam was coming out of it, forming a region of white smoke. Once in a while, there would be ripples in the water that splattered on Fang Yuan's soul. Fang Yuan's soul originally had hundreds of arms and 2 heads. After the cleansing of the pool water, hundreds of arms had vanished. He also returned to having 1 head. This was not an ordinary pool, it was 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool. After Fang Yuan raised Advanced Refinement Immortal GU to rank 9, he started modifying 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool. Some time ago, he started to refine his soul in it. Because the rank 9 Advanced Refinement Immortal GU was added, 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool became a genuine rank 9 immortal GU house. This immortal GU house still had the same 4 cores: advanced refinement, water refinement, regret, and blood acid. Advanced refinement was rank 9, the other 3 were rank 8. Among which, blood acid immortal GU had reached its limit, it could not be raised to rank 9. Heavenly Court's suppression of blood path's development was showing great effect here. 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool was created before the battle in Crazed Demon Cave. After advanced refinement immortal GU became rank 9, Feng Yuan could modify it now that he was a refinement path supreme grand master. Right now, 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool had undoubtedly gained a huge boost in power in terms of refining GU. Feng Yuan's soul used 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool to cleanse itself. The effect was incredible. The drawback of cultivating soul path was gradually weakening. Feng Yuan's soul path cultivation mainly relied on spectral soul's soul path true inheritance. This true inheritance had a huge drawback: it was completely exposed now. Humans could reach 100 million man soul at most, that was their racial limit. But after Red Lotus Demon Venerable damaged Fate GU, and with Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's innovation, he broke the limit of the human soul and created a qualitative change. He allowed 100 million man soul to reach Desolate Soul. After that, it could continue to grow to 10 Desolate Soul, 100 Desolate Soul all the way to 100 million Desolate Soul. 100 million Desolate Soul was the end point of Spectral Soul's true inheritance. It could create the 3-headed Thousand Arms Demon Soul which possessed quasi-rank 9 battle strength. The soul could directly resist calamities and tribulations, defy the heavens and stomp the earth, slaughter deities and ghosts, and shock the world with unmatched might. This was the peak of soul cultivation, it was the upper limit that this world could allow. But Feng Yuan gradually found that this cultivation method had a huge drawback. Because Spectral Soul Demon Venerable overly pursued strength, many threats were left behind. A human soul was a human soul. After becoming a desolate soul, the pure human nature would gain beast nature, or more accurately speaking, heaven nature. 100 million desolate soul was truly terrifying, but the proportion of human nature also became very low. The bestial traits took over most of its nature. At this current moment, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable lost his senses and got controlled by star constellation Immortal Venerable. Afterwards, he roamed the 2 heavens and acted according to his beast nature. This was the most obvious flaw. Feng Yuan had some estimations towards Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's current condition. Some time ago, Shen Sheng contributed his human path cultivation results. Feng Yuan compared the two and confirmed the drawback of soul path cultivation. In the past, human path was not developed, thus, the limit of a human was 100 million man soul. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable had to break through it forcefully, but truthfully, he had gone in the wrong direction. Of course, there are many reasons for this. Back then, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable wanted to create killing path. He devoured the Black Heaven Heavenly Spirit but failed to succeed, causing him to create soul path instead. There is a huge secret behind this. The more I think about this, the scarier it is. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2266 Star Constellations Arrangement Chapter 2266 Star Constellations Arrangement Translator, Atlas Studios Editor, Atlas Studios Intense winds and storms filled Heavenly Court. The silvery white sky turned dark at this moment. Within the intense winds, more than 10 immortal GU houses were moving around the place. All of Heavenly Court's members were doing their best to salvage the situation. The northeast corner has large areas of black smoke. It can corrode the ground and create rotten soil. The immortal graveyard needs to be protected. Branded name Palace is severely damaged. Please send reinforcements. Can anyone help me? I can't repair this huge crack in time. Exclamation mark quote. The GU immortals conversed among each other. This situation had been going on for tens of days. It was getting more dangerous as time passed. Heavenly Court was filled with danger, and most importantly, its foundation was too immense. It was the #1 heaven vein node in the world. During the fusion of the two heavens, Heavenly Court suffered the greatest impact. Originally, Heavenly Court had a tight defense, but after 2 invasions, the defensive methods left by Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable and others had either been destroyed or greatly weakened. They were useless in this situation. Crack, lightning flashed and bolted across half of Heavenly Court. Eventually, 5 Deity Hall blocked it but suffered huge damage in doing it. It fell to the ground, creating a huge pit that emitted dense smoke. This situation was caused by Heavenly Court's immense foundation. Even the rank 8-5 deity hall could barely block such power. Rain and wind continued unceasingly. Under such a turbulent situation, in Central Great Hall, star constellation Immortal Venerable opened her eyes slowly. Her star pupils were clear and bright. Star constellation Immortal Venerable looked through Central Great Hall and observed the entire situation of Heavenly Court in one glance. Little Xing, from today onwards, this will be your home. Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable brought back the child Xing Su and said to her. Where is this? Heavenly Court. Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable said with deep emotions. Heavenly Court. Xing Su muttered this foreign phrase. You can think of it as your home. Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable patted little Xing Su's head. Home. Xing Su's eyes brightened. Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable looked far and wide. Across the 5 regions, he seemed to be able to look into the future. Of course, this is your home, this will also be home to all of humanity. Deep memories surfaced in star constellation Immortal Venerable's mind before fading away quickly. Since when has Heavenly Court been in such a pitiful state? Master, this is our home, I will defend it till the end. After that, I will wait for your return. At the next moment, purple light burst out of Central Great Hall and spread to every corner of Heavenly Court. This is, star constellation Immortal Venerable made her move. We are too incapable, we are a burden to Lady Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. No, how can Star Constellation Immortal Venerable act unwisely? It is obvious that she has already refined all of Heavenly Court's wisdom path Tao marks. Once Star Constellation Immortal Venerable took action, the situation immediately changed. Under the rays of purple light, the raging wind and rain vanished, the intense lightning bolts were dispersed, the crack of heaven and earth mended quickly. The Heavenly Court GU Immortals were all shaken internally. This was the might of a Tao Lord. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable refined all of the wisdom path Tao marks in Heavenly Court. Her strength exceeded Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Spectral Soul Demon Venerable completely in this domain. Right now, even if Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Fang Yuan were to collaborate to attack Heavenly Court, they would not be able to do anything to Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. Go, let's go meet Lady Star Constellation. Some immortal GU houses landed while some stayed in the air. GU Immortals streamed out and moved towards Central Great Hall. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable activated her investigative method. This investigation had a completely different effect from before. Using the amplification of Heavenly Court's countless wisdom path Tao marks, the investigative killer move's power surged. The situation is still within my expectations. Both Venerables are still refining natural Tao marks. Fang Yuan has little immortal essence and has the slowest progress. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable has the most results, even exceeding me. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable quickly stopped her investigative method. She needed to conserve immortal essence now. It was time for Heavenly Court's immortals to report the various situations. Due to the fusion of both heavens, Heavenly Court was greatly affected and had huge losses. Back then, profound literature Grotto Heaven faced the problem of crashing stars. Thus, old immortal Hua Yu did not attack me, I successfully brought back those stars to Central Continent. Zhen Shenguang said an interesting event that made Star Constellation Immortal Venerable develop a thought. Human, Imperial Court, Poetry, Dynasty, Fang Yuan, Mermaid Immortals, the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. All sorts of information related to old immortal Hua Yu and profound literature Grotto Heaven flashed past Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's mind. With the help of Heavenly Court's wisdom path Tao marks, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable only expended several hundred thoughts and a meager amount of immortal essence to deduce the result. We can make this profound literature Grotto Heaven betray his alliance. Old immortal Hua Yu had deep attachment to the Grotto Heaven. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable understood why. Interrupting Zhen Shenguang was a huge merit, but old immortal Hua Yu did not do it. This meant that in his heart, profound literature Grotto Heaven was more important than his status in the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. And most importantly, old immortal Hua Yu had once opposed Fang Yuan and the Variant Human Alliance. That was the reason why he joined the Righteous Qi Alliance. But afterwards, Fang Yuan declared himself as Great Love. Eastern Sea's super forces were too meek and immediately joined him. Profound literature Grotto Heaven was forced to follow. Why did Fang Yuan not annex all these Grotto Heavens? The reason was simple. The Sovereign Immortal Aperture was not stable, it was unable to expand anymore now. Non-conflicting Tao marks were a double-edged sword. Long before the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had already deduced this huge threat of Fang Yuan's. Fang Yuan took in many resource points and focused on Earth Path resource points at first. He was likely constructing an Earth Path Tao vein to stabilize the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. During the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Fang Yuan lost many GU Immortal subordinates. Afterwards, he took the risk and took in 6 mermaid immortals. It showed that he was lacking manpower. The sovereign immortal aperture was in a desperate state. Thus, Fang Yuan could not annex these grotto heavens. He is only skilled at defending against wisdom path deductions. Western Desert's Fang clan's situation is also taking a lot of his energy. The lack of refinement path development is his greatest worry. He cannot bother with profound literature grotto heavens matter. Even though Fang Yuan was strong, he had become a venerable through refinement path, not wisdom path. His wisdom path attainment was not amazing in Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's view. In the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, the reason why Fang Yuan succeeded was because Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had focused on reviving. She did her best to try to get Crazed Demon Cave's eternal life research results. She also had to guard against Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. It gave Fang Yuan the chance to succeed. Wisdom Path was not skilled at solving impromptu situations. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had too little time to prepare back then. But as time passed, her Wisdom Path advantage continued to accumulate. Ignoring other matters, just the fact that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable refined heavenly Court's Wisdom Path Dao marks meant that she already had an impregnable position in this contest of 3 venerables. Even if Fang Yuan is not skilled in Wisdom Path, his Wisdom Path methods are beyond the ordinary rank 8 GU Immortal. But profound literature grotto heavens issue has just surfaced. Old Immortal Yu will not report the matter. This is our opportunity. If we do not use this chance well and stall for too long, Fang Yuan will notice it. Thinking of this, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable immediately gave orders to send Zhen Shenguang and Qin Dingling to profound literature grotto heaven secretly in an attempt to persuade Old Immortal Yu. If we can recruit profound literature grotto heaven, can we also do the same to Western Desert's Fang clan? Wan Zihong's will was present. She suggested this. Duke Tong chuckled and showed an expression of disdain. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable shook her head and asked Wan Zihong's will instead. Why do you think Wan clan did not choose to join Fang Yuan back then? They knew about Fang clan and Fang Yuan's relationship. Why did Western Desert's super forces still agree to create the anti-Fang alliance before our heavenly court showed up? Wan Zihong's will shook slightly. She seemed to realize something. With the fusion of 2 heavens and contest of 3 venerables, the 5 regions' political situation was completely chaotic. The factors involved were not just strength or benefits, there was also the people's will. The heart of the people was a very intricate thing. It was hard to assess at times, but also extremely easy to decipher at times. Back then, Heavenly Court was created and received resounding support from everyone. The greatest reason was the people's will. Righteous path and demonic path. If one only classified them according to fixed criteria set by the major players, it would be too shallow. Heavenly Court could recruit otherworldly demons. They could recruit demonic path GU immortals like Wan Zihong. This was because they could be said to be upholding justice. They were giving demons a second chance to turn over a new leaf. This was their great benevolence. But if Heavenly Court recruited Fang clan, they would lose everyone's support. Why did Heavenly Court support one clan? What was the reason? All along, what was the motto of Heavenly Court? What stance did they take? If they recruited Fang clan which had fallen into the demonic path entirely, then what difference would Heavenly Court have when compared to those who only pursued benefits? In these situations, if Heavenly Court wavered in their stance and went for petty gains, their reputation would take the biggest hit. In fact, even the 10 great ancient sects of Central Continent would start having doubts. Especially at this sensitive juncture, Fang clan was supported by Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan plotted secretly and made Fang clan attack Wan clan. It was because he knew that his reputation and popularity would not be accepted easily just because he declared himself as great love. Eastern Sea's super forces joined him merely out of fear. Wu Yong made transactions with Fang Yuan for benefits. Not long after, Wu Yong also made transactions with Heavenly Court. If Heavenly Court did this, Fang Yuan might become overjoyed. And this suggestion could only be brought up by someone like Wan Zihong. She was a former demonic path member after all. Other Heavenly Court members had not mentioned it. Was it because they could not? Of course not. The righteous path has the advantage in Western Desert's conflict. The only worry is if Fang clan goes all in and sells all their resource points to Fang Yuan. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had a thought. She was the #1 person in Wisdom Path. She had long expected such a situation. Thus, when she sent the members, she chose Zhou Shangxin. Zhou Shangxin was an information path GU immortal. He was skilled at finding clues. Once Fang clan abandoned everything and left, Zhou Shangxin would collect the relevant information and let Star Constellation Immortal Venerable make deductions on them. They had the duty of eradicating evil forces. Fang clan had to be exterminated. After star constellation Immortal Venerable refined all of Heavenly Court's wisdom path Tao marks, she had to rest and accumulate immortal essence now before she could start her next move. For the short period ahead, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's threat is even greater than Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Heaven Refining Demon Venerable. It is time to send people to search for Fairy Z-Way. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable arranged everything in meticulous and orderly fashion. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2267 Little Dews Revival Chapter 2267 Little Dews Revival Translator, Atlas Studios Editor, Atlas Studios Eastern Sea. Fang Yuan lightly let out a breath of air. This time, I succeeded in deceiving her again. Just earlier, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable used her investigative killer move to check on Fang Yuan. Obscured Heavenly Secret activated again and helped him to conceal the truth. Heaven Path. So be it if Giant Sun Immortal Venerable did not understand Heaven Path. But even Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was deceived time and again. She had once become one with the Tao, she was able to influence and alter Heaven's will. Even she was deceived by me. Is it because of Heaven Path's profundity, or because her revival had flaws in it? In terms of Heaven Path, she did not regain her former life's abilities. Earlier, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's investigative method had unprecedented power. It is very likely that she has already refined all of Heavenly Court's wisdom path Tao marks. Fang Yuan was only making a guess, he did not use any investigative method now. Looking into the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. 3 Earth Path Tao veins had been constructed already. A Wind Path Tao vein and a Fire Path Tao vein were also almost completed too. He was just a few more away from completing the first Tao vein ring. He had undergone countless Immortal GU transactions in Treasure Yellow Heaven to exchange for resource points. There was also Fang Clan's contribution that led to such huge progress. Western Desert's Fire Path, Earth Path, and Wind Path Tao marks were outstanding. These 3 paths had the most resource points there. Fang Clan was forced into desperation, they had to cut their foundation to fight for survival. The Sovereign Immortal Aperture gained a lot, but even then, the entire Immortal Aperture was still in a precarious situation. Currently, Fang Yuan had already reduced the purchasing of Earth Path resource points, he started to buy other paths, resource points. According to his deductions, he had to establish the various paths, Tao veins first and construct the first ring. After that, there would be an immediate effect on the Sovereign Immortal Aperture's stability. The Sovereign Immortal Aperture is unstable and strange situations are occurring frequently. The GU Immortals within the Immortal Aperture are already working at their limit. Even the 6 Mermaid Immortals that came into the Immortal Aperture are not enough anymore. During this period of time, many GU Immortals had liver explosions. Thankfully, Fang Yuan constructed a healing hall, otherwise, if these GU Immortals had to recuperate for a long time, the Sovereign Immortal Aperture would fall apart instantly. In the end, Fang Yuan would need to take action himself to suppress the turmoil. I need to bring in more manpower. Venerables were undoubtedly invincible, but with the contest of 3 Venerables, the situation became rather complex. According to the current situation, the main priority of the 3 Venerables was to refine natural Tao marks. But the world itself had a vast number of natural Tao marks, it would take a long time for the 3 Venerables to refine them all. Currently, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable was making the fastest progress, but he was still refining Northern Plains Tao marks. The 3 Venerables were not at the stage of having a decisive battle yet. Because Longevity Heaven and Heavenly Court were refined, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had their own firm base. Even if the other Venerables collaborated, they could not overwhelm the target at their base camp. And without sufficient advantage, it was unwise to have a battle now. The Venerables would not do that. Thus, for the following period of time, the Venerables would need other GU Immortals to help them and work for them. In this situation, normal GU Immortals were very useful to the Venerables. This value displayed its worth during their deadlock. Even if Fang Yuan was a refinement path Venerable, being capable of easily refining most rank 8 and below Immortal GU and also creating countless Immortal GU houses, this could not replace the use of GU Immortals. The earlier discussion on Fang Clan showed this clearly. What decided the outcome were not the Immortal GU houses but Fang Gong and Wan GU Cho. For GU Immortal experts, once the mechanics of the Immortal GU house were deciphered, they would be easy to target and deal with. Be it Fang clan's roof tile breaker or Zuo Chu clan's state of disunity, they were counters to immortal Gu houses. Thus, the people were most important. Gu are the essence of heaven and earth, man is the spirit of all living beings. Having more immortal Gu was a good thing, but the human element was on par with the Gu. Fang Yuan needed a large number of Gu immortal subordinates. One hand, in a deadlock of venerables, he needed enough henchmen, it would lead to greater convenience. Especially when he was refining natural Dao marks and could not leave. On the other hand, Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture often needed a large number of Gu immortals to suppress the strange phenomena that occurred frequently. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable also needed Gu immortals. On one hand, when the venerables were in a deadlock, they could settle matters for them. For example, when Star Constellation Immortal Venerable refined Heavenly Court's Dao marks, Zhen Shenguang went to the two heavens to collect stars. On the other hand, Longevity Heaven and Heavenly Court were also trying to nurture their second venerable. After the destruction of fate, it was possible to create new venerables. As for Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, because of their conflicting Dao marks, they could not become the venerable of a second path themselves. But how could they recruit Gu immortals? The most convenient source were the Gu immortals of the 5 regions. But this contained huge hidden threats. On one hand, these Gu immortals could be the spies of another venerable. The fact that Fang Yuan brought in 6 mermaid immortals was already a huge risk in itself. If he had to bring in Gu immortals of the 5 regions, Fang Yuan was more inclined to bring in variant humans. After all, variant humans were on the opposite side of Heavenly Court and Longevity Heaven. Other than bringing in more Gu immortals, Fang Yuan's other main method was immortal ascension. He could nurture Gu immortals inside the sovereign immortal aperture. But this had a merit and demerit. The merit was that the Gu immortals' loyalty was assured. The demerit was that the time needed to nurture Gu immortals was very long. And as the saying went, water in the distance could not quench thirst. But Fang Yuan had an advantage over the other venerables. His sovereign immortal aperture did not conflict with time path, so changing the time flow was very easy. Right now, the sovereign immortal aperture definitely had the fastest time flow among the venerables. In terms of nurturing Gu immortals, Fang Yuan already had many good choices. He had specially revived some of the Gu immortals that died in Crazed Demon Cave as mortals. But now that the two heavens were fusing, heaven's will was chaotic and Gu immortals were unable to get natural inspiration when they first ascended this time. This would not do. Fang Yuan knew his own limitations. His wisdom path deductions could not match Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, they were barely on par with Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Thus, Fang Yuan had to make full use of natural inspiration. If he missed these opportunities, his killer move deduction and modification would be far slower than the other two venerables. If he could not bring in Gu immortals or nurture them himself, what could he do? Fang Yuan quickly thought of human path. Fang Yuan's clone was still trapped in Divine Emperor City, but through Shen Shang, he transferred his human path cultivation results to Fang Yuan's main body. Together with Fang Yuan's transaction with Shen Shang, he also gained a portion of the latter's human path cultivation results. Fang Yuan obtained the incomplete immortal Gu recipes of Beggar Gu and Merchant Gu. If he had the complete immortal Gu recipes, Fang Yuan would be able to refine Merchant Immortal Gu and Beggar Immortal Gu. After activating them, he would gain manpower, there would be no threat of betrayal as well. But Fang Yuan lacked human path attainment level, while human path immortal Gu recipes were hard to deduce. Were there natural human path immortal Gu in the wild? According to Fang Yuan's estimation, the answer was no. Such immortal Gu recipes needed to be created by humans. After deep consideration, Fang Yuan did not attempt to deduce the human path immortal Gu recipes, they would waste too much of his time and effort. Thus, Fang Yuan held anticipation towards Central Continent's human path development as well. Ignoring other matters, just his soul path cultivation needed the support of human path. Looking at refinement path, it was able to grow to such a prosperous state today because of refinement path's own development and also because it supported all other paths in their development. Human sea rippled as huge waves appeared. After the rise and fall of tides, 2 fallen Gu immortals remained on the beach. Where is this place? I clearly died on the battlefield already. Fang Dongxi and Fang Enlei were confused as they stood up. This situation made them puzzled and shocked. But soon, Fang Yuan's will descended and informed them of the situation. Lord Fang Yuan actually has such a shocking method to revive us. Fang clan's 2 Gu immortals were filled with joy and excitement upon revival. Right at this time, there was a giant wave in Human Sea. The size of this wave was far bigger than the one carrying the Fang clan members. As the huge wave crashed onto the beach, it receded rapidly. A young-looking GU Immortal rode the waves and landed ashore. He gave off rank 8 aura, stunning the two Fang clan GU Immortals. They immediately recognized that this newly revived GU Immortal was one of Fang Yuan's main clones, Zhen Bu. When bringing in GU Immortals, nurturing GU Immortals, and Human Path Immortal GU were all unfeasible at this moment, Fang Yuan chose to revive GU Immortals. Originally, the GU Immortals only revived as mortals. But now, they kept their cultivation level. Fang Clan's 2 Immortals were rank 7 while Zhen Bu was rank 8. To achieve this, Human Sea expended itself at an unprecedented level. It could only revive 3 more rank 8 GU Immortals at this rate. Where there are gains, there are losses. Following this, Fang Yuan would need to collect more human chi to replenish Human Sea. But there was no rush in this. The thing that needed replenishment the most was Refinement Sea. At this point, Fang Yuan's Refinement Sea was almost dry already. After the 2 Fang clan GU Immortals left, Fang Yuan gave all the Transformation Path Immortal GU to Zhen Bu. This way, as long as he used the Transformation Path Killer move, Zhen Bu would gain pseudo-venerable battle strength again. Zhen Bu went to handle the strange phenomena while Fang Yuan's main body expended Heaven Path Immortal materials to replenish obscured heavenly secret. After that, he secretly unsealed the truthful floating ice. Right now, Fang Yuan's Transformation Path and Rule Path attainment levels rose. But the greatest growth was still Heaven Path. Fang Yuan could sense that his Heaven Path attainment level was reaching a point of qualitative change. Black and White Heaven, a huge transparent pillar slammed down and killed most of the soul beasts under it. From the body of a desolate level soul beast, 2 GU Immortals flew out. One was a female immortal who had a graceful figure with hair that extended to her waist. She was adorned in a beautiful purple robe. Her eyes were like deep pools, with a sense of sorrow shrouding her face. The other was a male immortal. He had an ordinary face, his eyes were dark and he emitted a soul path aura. They were Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxie. What Heaven Path Immortal material is this? When it fell, the soul beasts could not move or dodge it at all. Ying Wuxie asked curiously. Fairy Ziwei inspected it and explained, this is a heavenly pillar. Each heavenly pillar is a rank 9 Heaven Path Immortal material. Back then, Central Continent's TNT Mountain could connect to Heavenly Court because it had a heavenly pillar. We lost the concealment of soul beasts but gained a rank 9 immortal material. Is this good or bad luck? Ying Wuxie sighed. What's the point of sighing now? The urgent matter is to find Master Spectral Soul, your main body. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2268 Awkwardness of the Anti-Fang Alliance. Chapter 2268 Awkwardness of the Anti-Fang Alliance. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Western Desert, Fang Clan's headquarters. Open, Mo Sha Ta shouted. The killer move was activated, the immortal formation ahead was forced open. The inside was completely empty. Not a shred of resources were left, it was completely barren. This again, many GU Immortals were angry and frustrated. Emptied, they emptied this as well, some muttered to themselves with expressions of dejectedness. Fang Clan is so ruthless. Some GU Immortals' eyes were spewing fire, they gritted their teeth angrily. Just Fang Clan alone cannot have such manpower or methods, they must be backed by Heaven Refining Demon Venerable. Some of the GU Immortals felt helpless. This was Fang Clan's final resource point. Like the earlier resource points, nothing was left to the Anti-Fang Alliance. The GU Immortals discussed among themselves, it was a rowdy scene. This was too different from their expectations. Fang Clan had not only emptied the resource points, they also left the immortal formations behind. These immortal formations were created using natural Dao marks and immortal materials. When the Anti-Fang Alliance tried to break the immortal formation, they had to spend immortal essence as well. They wasted a bunch of immortal essence and ended up with no gains. Looking at these deep pits or desolate land, the Anti-Fang Alliance's members had grim expressions. Xiao Yihu did not even have the energy to get angry. He was feeling regret. Had I known this, I would not have interfered in this stupid matter. Xiao Yihu's own injuries had not healed yet, and most importantly, his immortal GU house chamber pot was ruined. It was not that he had no gains, but the things he got could not make up for his losses. Wan Ji Yu Cho looked at this scene and sighed internally, she was also feeling quite helpless. In her first life, she had not seen any super force with no bottom line like this. It was truly a new experience now. She led the Anti-Fang Alliance and attacked. Along the route, they did not meet any Fang Clan GU Immortal. Even though they broke many Immortal formations, there were no resource points inside. Many of the Immortal formations were even tampered with. If they could not open it properly, it would explode. This was too devious. Many GU Immortals suffered injuries because of this. Even Fang Clan's headquarters had been relocated. It could not be found. This was a public blessed land, but Fang Clan actually had a method to relocate the Immortal aperture. There was a saying on Earth, the monk can run away but the temple cannot, but now, Fang Clan directly brought the temple with them. Even though Wan Jiu Cho did not know this saying, her mood was just as horrible. Even though they defeated Fang Clan, Wan Jiu Cho was not feeling happy at all. She was instead filled with worries. Fang Clan vanished but they retained most of their battle strength. Right now, it was one clan and the other super Foss's turn to feel worried. It was possible that Fang Clan would attack one of their resource points one day, and the chance of defending it was low. Fang Clan did not have resource points left. They did not need to have GU Immortals stationed to guard them. If they attacked all at once, they could turn their passive situation into an active one. Wan Jiu Cho looked at the Heavenly Court GU Immortals. In this situation, Heavenly Court and Wan Clan were on the same side. Their benefits were tied together. And in fact, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had issued orders long ago to exterminate the whole of Fang Clan. Thus, after Zhou Shangxin sensed Wan Jiu Chao's gaze, he said without hesitation, Fang Clan's actions are crippling their foundation. They have completely submitted to Heaven Refining Demon Venerable. This means that Fang Clan is the same as Fang Yuan. They are all demons. They are threats to this world. Don't say these things to us. What are we going to do now? The other Western Desert GU Immortals did not want to hear his talk. Zhou Shangxin smiled. Our Lady Star Constellation Immortal Venerable predicted that this would happen. She sent me here specially to find clues and information about Fang Clan's traces. Once we find something, the Anti-Fang Alliance will be able to go all out and eradicate Fang Clan. Wan Zihong, who was beside him, knew why Fang Clan acted like this. Some time ago, she had raised a suggestion to Star Constellation Immortal Venerable but the plan to recruit Fang Clan was rejected. At that point, Wan Zihong knew that Fang Clan had no way to surrender. Heavenly Court needed to intimidate everyone by showing a tough stance on this matter. In this situation, even she would react the same. The Anti-Fang Alliance was too dragged on and slow in its movements. It gave Fang Clan and Fang Yuan ample time to relocate their resources. The best tactic of the Anti-Fang Alliance was to immediately attack Fang Clan. But they spent too much time discussing their internal affairs. Negotiations took time after all. Only after they finished distributing the supposed benefits did the Anti-Fang Alliance move out. But Wan Zihong understood them. If they did not do this, the Anti-Fang Alliance would not be able to send GU Immortals out or come up with an appropriate tactic. Risks and benefits were interlinked. Only by confirming the benefit distribution would they be able to assign the clans to attack first and which ones to stay at the back. The entire Anti-Fang Alliance would have motivation to do this as well. This alliance had been established for too short of a period. Many of the GU Immortals came from super forces that were not willing to take anyone's lead. There was nobody who could have sufficient authority or strength to take charge. Without temptation, this Anti-Fang Alliance would not have even been able to form. Like earlier, one clan had to pay out of their own pockets to lure the various super forces to send people and organize the Anti-Fang Alliance. After Wan Jiu Cho was exposed, they used Fang Clan's assets to tempt them. Without any clear distribution of benefits, the Anti-Fang Alliance could not send anyone. If battle broke out and Fang Clan retaliated forcefully, the GU Immortals would immediately retreat and protect themselves. Without clear benefits, nobody would take any risk. But Fang Clan was forced into a corner. They were united at this moment. In this situation, Fang Clan was like a clenched fist while the Anti-Fang Alliance was like a pile of loose sand. It was likely that they would fail. Thus, the process of negotiating benefits was a necessity. But my strength alone is not enough. Everyone, you should know about the threat that Fang Clan poses. We need to get rid of these demonic path scoundrels as soon as possible. I would like you to send information path GU Immortals to assist in pursuing them. Zhou Shangxin said, Fang Clan is in the demonic path. They are no longer a righteous path super force. It is everyone's duty to eradicate them. Western Desert's GU Immortals nodded. But we returned with no gains from this. One clan and Heavenly Court have to give us a proper answer. Indeed, in this situation, we can't leave empty-handed, right? If we leave without any gains, we will be too disappointed in you, Wan clan. If Fang clan attacks again, how can anyone come to support the anti-Fang alliance? The Gu Immortals went into a commotion again. Wan Gu Cho felt a huge headache. She thought about it and secretly transmitted to Xiao Yihu. Friend from Xiao clan, don't be anxious, my Wan clan will guarantee your benefits first. Accordingly, the first ancestor of Fang clan was the sole Gu Immortal in their clan. Back then, Fang clan occupied Moving Rock Crevice and was the smallest super force in Western Desert. When the Sand Calamity appeared, Fang clan's first ancestor was faced with a choice. He could have created an immortal formation and sacrificed some Fang clan mortals to block the Sand Calamity. But he chose to protect Fang clan's people and left, giving up Moving Rock Crevice in the process. Such an extreme nature is truly rare, but it is not hard to understand why he did that. Friend, you have captured many Fang clansmen, even though they are just from branch families, we can still make use of Fang clan's nature. Xiao clan was the strongest super force besides Wan clan, Wan Gu Cho had to pacify them first. Strength was the most important thing in a negotiation. After getting Wan Gu Cho's assurance, Xiao Yihu's expression eased up and he stopped creating a scene. Wan Gu Cho's words could be trusted, this was the attitude of the righteous path after all. Furthermore, even if Wan Gu Cho disregarded her reputation and refused to pay, what could Xiao Yihu do? Sell, I will sell these Fang clansmen as slaves to humiliate Fang clan. We can also tamper with these people and use them to find out the location of Fang clan's immortals. Xiao Yihu gritted his teeth and firmed up his mind. A moment later, in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Where is this? Wang Xiao'er gasped. The surrounding people were screaming in fear too, there was a loud commotion around them. These people were floating in Treasure Yellow Heaven, a formless force restrained them, keeping them in place together. Thus, Wang Xiao'er felt horrible, he was not stepping on ground and he was surrounded by people, they were all squeezing around him. We were sold, this is the legendary Treasure Yellow Heaven. Some knowledgeable GU masters explained the truth. Fang clan's members had pale expressions. This was the consequence of losing. Fang clan's GU immortals, listen to this. You have betrayed the righteous path and fallen into the demonic path, you are the shame of Western Desert's righteous path. Even if you ran away, you will still face our judgment. These people are all members of Fang clan. They are innocent, but because of you, they are now slaves, this is all your fault. Xiao Yihu's will enter Treasure Yellow Heaven and spread the news, trying to humiliate Fang clan. Such words made the Fang clansmen cry out in deeper anguish. Will anyone save us? Lord Ancestors, we are here. Why are you crying? Don't be a disgrace to Fang clan. The best situation for them was to be bought by Fang clan's GU immortals. Wang Xiao'er was among them, he shouted alongside the rest. He was feeling very uneasy now. He was treated as a Fang clan member because the situation was too chaotic earlier. Fang clan's members did not know that an external GU master was mixed among them. Different from the rest, Wang Xiao'er did not want to be bought by Fang clan GU immortals. Because the Fang clan GU immortals knew he was an outsider, not long ago, Fang Dongxi had not just interrogated him roughly, he even used all sorts of vicious methods to torture Wang Xiao'er before healing him. Chaotic times are starting, Fang clan is a super force but it has actually gotten into this state. They courted death. Fang clan definitely did not want to kill Wan clan's first supreme elder, they held back. In my opinion, Wan clan's first supreme elder was too useless, he actually died so easily. Right now, Wan clan is different. With Wan Gu Chao's revival, they will rise up to power again with such a legendary expert. Cooperating with Fang Yuan will give us immortal GU transactions. But working with Heavenly Court will allow us to revive GU immortals. They are both quite attractive. Fang clan's members were now slaves, this was a warning to many GU immortals. The 5 regions' chaotic war had not started, but the super forces had already started to destabilize. At once, all of them felt varying emotions, Fang clan's predicament was also their concern for the future. How are you selling these human slaves? Some people put up bids. Human slaves were getting rarer and rarer, for the last 100 years, there were no such large-scale human slave trade activities. After all, capturing human enemies and selling them as slaves was an undeniable demonic act. But right now, these Fang clan members had lost the battle, there was a proper excuse to sell them. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2269 Heavenly Melody Chapter 2269 Heavenly Melody Translator, Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios. Among the GU Immortals who came to purchase Fang Clan slaves, there might be Fang Clan GU Immortals, but Treasure Yellow Heaven would not decipher them. Xiao Yihu did not care. He quoted his price expressionlessly. It was a normal price that was neither too low nor high. Immediately, several transactions were completed. With this batch of Fang Clan members, I have made up for the final gap. I can try to refine wealth GU now. Shi Kong was very happy. Please don't let me get sold to Fang Clan GU Immortals. Wang Xiao'er prayed in his heart. I'll take this batch, they seem to be of decent quality. The GU Immortal spoke to Xiao Yihu and chose a batch. Even among human slaves, quality differed. Among which, rank 5 GU masters were the most popular, following that were the young and talented GU masters. At once, crying sounds could be heard. The Fang Clan members were sold off, their families were broken up for good, they bid farewell to each other here for the last time. It was a sad sight to see. Here, the Fang Clan members' lives would be greatly changed, the future was bound to be very different from now. The pitiful Fang Clan members would be sold to Shi Kong as GU materials and used till they died. Some of the luckier ones would be specially chosen as GU Immortal seeds to join certain sects or clans. If they succeed in becoming GU Immortals in the future, it would be a huge profit for the buyer. Of course, there were few who were regarded as GU Immortal seeds. Fang Clan lost, but they are not out yet. It seems that this contest will still go on. In the two heavens, Fairy Ziwei retracted her divine sense from Treasure Yellow Heaven. She had been paying close attention to the trend of the world recently. Currently, she had already been in the two heavens with Ying Wuxie for a few days. During this period of time, they had a tough journey filled with difficulties and danger. The immemorial two heavens were dangerous to begin with. Ordinary rank 8 GU Immortals had to be very careful when they explored. Now that the two heavens had fused, the environment was chaotic and messy, it was filled with changes. The 5 regions had already been implicated, while the fused two heavens itself was even more intense. From time to time, roaming immemorial desolate beasts would appear. There could even be huge armies made of desolate beasts, ancient desolate beasts, and even immemorial desolate beasts. It was still relatively safer to meet wild beasts. The scariest thing was getting into a place with dense Dao marks, because the two heavens had shattered and fused together. Many dangerous and forbidden places were shifting around now. If one got trapped, they would be like a mortal stepping into a quicksand in the desert. They could only wait for death in despair. Even an expert like Fairy Ziwei would encounter danger. Ying Wuxie, just how far away are we? Fairy Ziwei asked. Currently, they were hiding within a soul beast army. This soul beast army had many ancient soul beasts. Ying Wuxie took control of it. Ying Wuxie replied, from what I sense, we still need 3 days to reach the main body. During this period, if he moves, the timing could be extended or shortened. Ying Wuxie used a soul path killer move and managed to sense the location of his main body. But Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's speed was far beyond them. Thankfully, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable had lost his senses. He did not use defensive methods against investigations. He was also roaming around causing destruction. He did not avoid them. Thus, during this time, Ying Wuxie and Fairy Ziwei managed to get closer to Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. Howl, the soul beast that was moving ahead suddenly stopped. It cried out in pain like it had slammed into an invisible wall. What's going on? Fairy Ziwei instantly became alert. Be careful, all of you, stop. Ying Wuxie also controlled his soul beast army and stopped, floating in the air. In the past few days, they had used the soul beasts to probe many dangerous areas. The cost was 30% of the soul beasts they controlled. This is Heavenly Chasm. Fairy Ziwei checked and gasped in surprise. Heavenly Chasm was a rank 9 Heaven Path immortal material. It had an irregular form but was incredibly big. It was formless and ethereal. Although it seemed like empty air, it could not be passed through. We are so unlucky, to think that we would be obstructed by this. Ying Wuxie was disappointed. The Heavenly Chasm was not dangerous, but it was a huge problem for them. Because they needed to get past the Heavenly Chasm, but they could not find out what its exact shape or distribution was. Both Fairy Ziwei's and Ying Wuxie's investigative methods had a smaller range than the size of the entire Heavenly Chasm. In other words, they could only test their luck by choosing one direction and trying to get around it from there. It was inestimable how much time they would need to use up now. But there was no helping it. Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxie could only make a detour. After moving for a long distance, the Heavenly Chasm remained in front of them. It was like a huge wall that blocked their every path. Suddenly, a sound was transmitted into Ying Wuxie and Fairy Ziwei's ears. Initially, they did not mind it, they thought that it was a normal wind sound. But soon, it got louder and more delightful. When the two immortals were attracted by the sound, their actions unconsciously slowed down. After more than 10 breaths of time, the entire soul beast army had stopped in the air, they were completely entranced by the beautiful sound. This sound did not contain any instrumental component, it purely composed of wind, rain, thunder, bird chirping sounds and so on. However, the outcome was a beautiful melody that made Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxie addicted to it. Oh no, this is the heavenly melody. Fairy Ziwei was internally shaken, she wanted to warn Ying Wuxie but she only gasped out loud, her body completely relaxed as she fell into deep entrancement. Ying Wuxie had lower cultivation level than her, he was much more immersed in it, he was already showing an expression of indulgence, he could not save himself. Fairy Ziwei's heart was sinking. She knew that this was a truly desperate situation. If this went on, she and Ying Wuxie, along with the soul beasts, would be completely immersed in the heavenly melody, they would eventually lose their senses and become floating corpses. Fairy Ziwei wanted to save herself but after several attempts, she could not even activate any GU worm, not to mention killer moves. If she had reacted in time and did her best to stop it, there might be a chance of survival. But she had been listening to the heavenly melody for too long, she was like a human struggling after falling into the water, her strength was depleting as she drank more and more water. Am I going to die here? Fairy Ziwei felt her eyelids getting heavier, her vision was turning blur, she could not help but feel like shutting her eyes and enjoying the beautiful melody with her full attention. This might be the most enjoyable way to die. As Fairy Ziwei approached death, her mind was filled with indulgent and wonderful emotions. If she died, she would not feel any sadness, despair, pain, or other negative emotions. But right when Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxie were about to die, the heavenly melody started weakening. A GU immortal was flying closer to them from afar. He wore a red and white robe, standing straight like a spear or sword. His eyebrows were sharp like swords, a mysterious and profound light was hidden in his eyes. He revealed a faint smile from the corner of his lips, he gave off the aura of gentleness and confidence. It was the current rank 8 sound path great expert, Feng Juzhe. What a beautiful heavenly melody. Feng Juzhe laughed brightly as he looked at the soul beast army and the two incapacitated immortals, Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxie. The heavenly melody that almost killed the two shadow sect members did not manage to affect Feng Juzhe, in fact, he used a mysterious method to contain and collect it. Feng Juzhe. As Fairy Ziwei slowly recovered, she looked at the GU immortal in front of her with shock. Ever since the Fate War, Feng Juzhe went missing without a trace. Had he been in the two heavens all along? Since he was able to take the rank 9 immortal material heavenly melody, did this mean that his strength had grown again? Did he retain his pseudo-venerable battle strength? It was a mystery. As Feng Juzhe collected and stored the heavenly melody, he activated a killer move. 2 lumps of profound light shot into Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxie, wrapping around them and slowly entering their bodies. Because of the heavenly melody, Fairy Ziwei still could not move, Feng Juzhe was free to do this without resistance. What killer move is this? What are you trying to do? Fairy Ziwei slowly regained her ability to speak. Feng Juzhe replied, don't worry, I'm not seeking to harm you. After the Fate War, haven't our circumstances become quite similar now? Feng Juzhe said this as he turned to leave. Fairy Ziwei could not catch up, she watched as he flew away casually. What happened? Ying Wuxie recovered and watched Feng Juzhe's figure fly far away in the sky. We were hit by the heavenly melody and fell into grave danger. But Feng Juzhe suddenly appeared and collected the heavenly melody, he also used a mysterious method on us. Fairy Ziwei explained the situation quickly. Ying Wuxie stared with wide eyes, what Feng Juzhe didn't kill us? He is also a demonic path member, he has betrayed heavenly court, what is the point of killing us? Fairy Ziwei sighed. If he wanted us to die, he could have waited by the side, he would gain our corpses, immortal apertures, and immortal GU. His motive was to get the heavenly melody, other than that, he also wanted to use that move on us. The two used their methods and inspected their bodies, but could not find anything strange or peculiar. It was as if Feng Juzhe's killer move was just an illusion that had not actually been used. Regardless of whether he has pseudo-venerable battle strength, his methods are becoming more profound. Fairy Ziwei sighed. What killer move is this? Ying Wuxie frowned. Is he trying to use us as bait to harm the main body? Fairy Ziwei shook her head. We have too few clues, but according to my intuition, Feng Juzhe does not seem interested in Master Spectral Soul. Also, even if your guess is correct, are we going to stop here? Ying Wuxie considered it and gritted his teeth while nodding. Of course we have to continue moving. Even if Feng Juzhe wants to harm the main body, he is only rank 8, how can he harm my main body? The two immortals set off again. Because of the heavenly melody, half of the beast group was wiped out. Since they were near the heavenly chasm, the army could not be replenished. This time, to guard against the heavenly melody, the soul beasts were widely spread out, they were far from each other. The main body, I can sense the main body. Not long after, Ying Wuxie suddenly shouted. Following his sensation, the two immortals changed directions and saw Spectral Soul Demon Venerable after a few minutes. So the main body was on the other side of the heavenly chasm, but because of this rank 9 immortal material's interference, I thought that he was far away. Ying Wuxie suddenly realized. He shouted, I am here. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable saw Ying Wuxie and immediately roared. Boom boom boom. With a chain of sounds, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable landed several hundred fists on the heavenly chasm. The heavenly chasm shook intensely, it was on the brink of breaking. Ying Wuxie and Fairy Ziwei turned pale. Why did Spectral Soul Demon Venerable turn so ferocious after seeing Ying Wuxie? It was as if they were mortal enemies. What in the world was going on? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2270 Heavenly Courts Assault. Chapter 2270 Heavenly Courts Assault. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Qin Dingling and Zhen Shenguang flew carefully in the two heavens. This old immortal Hua Yu is really crafty. He actually wants us to convince Flickering Light Grotto Heaven first. Zhen Shenguang said begrudgingly. After the two of them received the mission to make old immortal Hua Yu change sides, they got close to Profound Literature Grotto Heaven and lurked there. While old immortal Hua Yu was chasing away beast groups outside, they secretly met with him. Do you think old immortal Hua Yu is purposely wasting our time now? After we convince Flickering Light Grotto Heaven to join us, he will already have his trap prepared. Zhen Shenguang asked. Qin Dingling sighed. This is unlikely. Old immortal Hua Yu has been hesitating for a long time, but the reason why he is staying on the fence and being ambiguous is because he is afraid that Fang Yuan will try to kill him if he betrays him. In this situation, he wants the attention on him to be smaller, thus, he wants to see more Grotto Heavens betraying Fang Yuan. In that case, Profound Literature Grotto Heaven will not be as big of a target. But the situation that you mentioned cannot be ruled out as well. Zhen Shenguang asked. Then what should we do? Flickering Light Grotto Heaven is led by Gu Immortal Liang Jingjing, but different from old immortal Hua Yu. We do not know much about her, we cannot be sure of her true intentions. Qin Dingling pondered for a while and said, even if we don't, I'm sure old immortal Hua Yu already has some leads. Otherwise, he would not have chosen this Grotto Heaven specially for us. Maybe it is time to use that move. Qin Dingling started to fly slower as her expression became resolute, it was clear that she had made up her mind. Zhen Shenguang showed a look of confusion. Qin Dingling said, Flickering Light Grotto Heaven is not far away, but before taking the risk, I want to use my luck path method to make some arrangements. Zhen Shenguang asked worriedly, is the cost of this move too high? Qin Dingling shook her head. Although it will consume some of my luck path Dao marks, for the sake of Heavenly Court, this is a small cost. The reason why I hesitated was because this move has a huge drawback. It is the same as using my future good luck in advance, it may have the effect of helping our enemies. So that's it. Zhen Shenguang nodded. Qin Dingling continued to speak. But thinking about it, it is very important for us to recruit old immortal Hua Yu. With the contest of 3 venerables, for a long time in the future, this balance will continue to hold. Western Desert's Fang clan has already been driven out of their territory. If old immortal Hua Yu and the others betray Fang Yuan, then Heaven Refining Demon Venerable's reputation will become the lowest of the 3. Regardless of whether Fang Yuan goes to kill old immortal Hua Yu, he will still face losses. For us rank 8 GU immortals to be able to influence the situation of the 3 venerables, isn't it normal that the price to pay is huge? Zhen Shenguang was convinced by her. That's true. Lady Qin Dingling, go ahead and use it, I will guard you. Not long after, Qin Dingling finished her preparation and used the killer move. However, this killer move took a whole hour before it ended. Qin Dingling was pale and covered in sweat, her expression was quite strange. Did something happen? Zhen Shenguang sensed that something was wrong long ago, he quickly asked. Qin Dingling did not conceal the matter, she answered. When I used this killer move, there was a mystical change like the entire world was responding to me. This killer move normally takes 10 or so breaths to activate, but in that situation earlier, with the help of heaven and earth, I persevered and continued to use it. In the end, the move's activation took 1 hour. Zhen Shenguang frowned. I've heard about the secret behind the power of a Tao Lord. After a Venerable refines natural Tao marks, every move they make will be amplified by the Tao marks, which is the resonance of heaven and earth. Lady Qin Dingling, why did that happen to you? Qin Dingling shook her head. I can't comprehend it either, but that is not a problem. On this expedition to Flickering Light Grotto Heaven, we will definitely receive huge help. Let's go. The two heavenly court immortals continued on their way. On the other side, boom, with a loud rumbling sound, the heavenly chasm was unable to take any more hits. The weakest segment was pierced by spectral soul demon Venerable's arm. The two sides were connected at once. Fairy Ziwei's and Ying Wuxia's pupils shrunk rapidly. In an instant, they sensed an unparalleled killing intent surging from spectral soul demon Venerable's body to the surroundings. His killing intent was so intense that even Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxia felt that they were mortals about to be engulfed by a tsunami. Helplessness, despair, fear, panic, these emotions appeared naturally in them as they spread rapidly. Quickly go. Fairy Ziwei was a wisdom path great expert after all. She quickly reacted and used her killer move. With her help, Ying Wuxia regained his senses too. Boom boom boom. More and more arms pierced the heavenly chasm as they extended towards the two. The rank 9 heavenly chasm could trap Fairy Ziwei or Ying Wuxia, but it was only a small hurdle for the senseless spectral soul demon Venerable. Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxia quickly retreated. But suddenly, a black arm increased in speed and grabbed onto Ying Wuxia. At the moment of life and death, Ying Wuxia activated his method. Immortal killer move, change soul technique. At the next moment, he swapped position with a soul beast. This ancient soul beast took his place and got captured by spectral soul demon Venerable. Meanwhile, Ying Wuxia appeared far away and quickly escaped for his life. During this period of time, Ying Wuxia practiced hard and created his killer move, change soul technique. Compared to Fang Yuan's switch soul in dream, this change soul technique had its own merits and demerits. Ying Wuxia managed to escape. Spectral soul demon Venerable growled angrily and squeezed with his huge claw as the ancient soul beast was ground into powder. Its ancient soul core was absorbed by spectral soul demon Venerable instantly. More and more huge claws slashed through the heavenly chasm and surrounded him. Nearly 10 hands opened up, an intense suction force appeared from the centers of the palms. Ying Wuxia's soul beast group had no resistance at all, they were all absorbed. As the claws contracted, they did not squeeze the soul beasts this time, instead, they were molded. Be it desolate beast or ancient desolate beast, the soul beasts cried out in agony. After several breaths of time, the huge claws opened up as these soul beasts were released. Not only did the size of the strength group change, their strength also rose dramatically. There were actually 3 immemorial soul beasts among them. These soul beasts were completely loyal to spectral soul demon Venerable. They screeched as they attacked Ying Wuxia. Ying Wuxia spat out blood. He felt incredibly stunned. The method that he used to enslave the soul beasts had been completely erased by spectral soul demon Venerable. He suffered a backlash as a result. Fairy Ziwei brought Ying Wuxia along with her as they quickly retreated. As purple smoke started to rise, these soul beasts were temporarily trapped. They could only move around in the smoke. After flying for some time, they two immortals heard a loud sound as the surrounding 100 li started to shake. The heavenly chasm was broken through by spectral soul demon Venerable. The two immortals turned pale as they did their best to flee. But spectral soul demon Venerable was incredibly fast. Not long after, he reached them. Spectral soul demon Venerable's left head roared loudly. The silhouette of Danghun Mountain appeared immediately as it slammed towards the two immortals. They could not avoid it. Immortal killer move, Purple Will production. At the crucial moment, Fairy Ziwei used a killer move as her body shook, turning into purple smoke that carried Ying Wuxia as they vanished on the spot. After a few breaths of time, purple smoke was produced out of nowhere several tens of li away. The purple smoke turned back into Fairy Ziwei while Ying Wuxia fell out from it. Thankfully, when they encountered the heavenly melody and after Feng Juzhe left, Fairy Ziwei used her method at every set interval of distance traveled. This method was originally meant to defend against the heavenly melody. But to think that she would have to use it to avoid spectral soul demon Venerable. After using it, the two immortals managed to survive. But danger was far from over. The two immortals were still in a perilous situation. Bring me along and leave. After using this move, There is a huge drawback. I need to exterminate the large amount of purple wool in my mind before I can use it again. Fairy Ziwei said in an urgent tone. Ying Wuxie quickly used his soul path method as he flew away with Fairy Ziwei. After the two immortals escaped for some time, Ying Wuxie was shocked to find that his speed was getting slower. Any soul path killer move that he used had increasing expenditure. I have been struck. It happened when the main body caught me earlier. What move is this? It seems to counter all soul path killer moves. Ying Wuxie was soon rendered useless. Fairy Ziwei had no choice but to take over and escape with Ying Wuxie. As Spectral Soul Demon Venerable approached, Fairy Ziwei had no choice but to use purple wool production again to stall for time desperately. Let's split up, Ying Wuxie gritted his teeth and suggested. Fairy Ziwei shook her head, she rejected him without hesitation. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable wanted to kill Ying Wuxie now. If they split up, Fairy Ziwei would survive but Ying Wuxie would definitely not be spared. Fairy Ziwei was affected by Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's method and became absolutely loyal to him. Currently, because Spectral Soul Demon Venerable was not in the right state of mind, her loyalty went to Spectral Soul's split soul. She would do anything to protect Ying Wuxie, even if it cost her life. But right at this time, 3 rank 8 GU immortals appeared before Fairy Ziwei. The left one had a round head and large ears, he wore a loose robe and had an intense chi path aura, he was Heavenly Court's 7 fiendish primeval monarch. The right one wore a golden hoop on his head, it was Golden Hooped Great Immortal. The GU immortal in the center looked kind and merciful, his eyebrows were very long, reaching his chest, it was one of the 3 dukes, Duke Mei. Fairy Ziwei is here after all. Oh, Ying Wuxie is here too. Duke Mei, 7 fiendish primeval monarch, and Golden Hooped Great Immortal were here on Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's orders to capture Fairy Ziwei. Fairy Ziwei's immortal aperture was with Heavenly Court, with such an obvious lead. After Star Constellation Immortal Venerable personally made deductions, the 3 immortals managed to find her. Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxie's expressions changed. They were facing danger from both directions. This was a desperate predicament. What do we do? Ying Wuxie turned pale. Fairy Ziwei frowned deeply. At the moment of crisis, she shouted loudly, Feng Juzhe, I know you are nearby. If you lend us a hand now, we will repay you tenfold in the future. Feng Juzhe, that Heavenly Court traitor. Golden Hooped Great Immortal frowned. 7 fiendish primeval monarchs snorted coldly. Good, we will take care of him too. Duke Mei was about to speak but his brows suddenly rose as his long eyebrows shook intensely. Oh no, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable is here. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's mountain-like body appeared in everyone's vision. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2271 Left to their own devices. Chapter 2271 Left to their own devices. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. At once, the situation became very complex. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable broke through the heavenly chasm and chased after them. Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxie were trapped in the middle. Heavenly Court's 3 immortals, Golden Hooped Great Immortal, 7 fiendish primeval monarch, and Duke Mei stood in front of the Shadow Sect members, while Feng Juzhe was indeed hiding nearby like what Fairy Ziwei predicted. If Spectral Soul Demon Venerable had his sanity, Feng Juzhe would not do this, that was too risky. Fairy Ziwei was really only trying her luck earlier. She could not be certain of Feng Juzhe's location, this was only a possibility she deduced. After all, Feng Juzhe did not kill them but used a method on them. This meant that Feng Juzhe wanted to make use of the 2. Fairy Ziwei was in a desperate situation, she had to use all the methods she could think of. In that situation, Feng Juzhe became her hope. But Feng Juzhe showed no signs of helping. He squinted as he looked at the 2 Shadow Sect immortals from afar, he sighed internally. It is useless, I can already hear the cries of your destiny, even though it has some turbulence, it is en route to the abyss, the outcome has been decided. During this period when he went missing, he had been cultivating the killer move Destiny Song, he made a lot of progress. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's left head growled as soul balls appeared out of nowhere. The soul balls had tiny tadpole-like tails behind them as they quickly got close to Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxie, before exploding intensely. Fairy Ziwei and Ying Wuxie could not resist them, their souls shook and almost shattered on the spot. Attack! At the other end, Duke Mei was the first to use his killer move. Golden Hooped Great Immortal and 7 fiendish primeval monarch followed closely after. I am going to die. Ying Wuxie's expression was ashen. How can this be? At the next moment, Fairy Ziwei's expression turned to shock. Because the Heavenly Court Immortals' attacks were not aimed at them but Spectral Soul Demon Venerable instead, they resisted the Soul Ball method while helping to defend the Shadow Sect Immortals. Heavenly Court was saving the Shadow Sect Immortals. Even a Wisdom Path great expert like Fairy Ziwei was stunned. Don't tell me, because Star Constellation Immortal Venerable revived, she is allowing me to return to Heavenly Court in exchange for betraying Master. Or maybe, they want to capture the crucial split soul, Ying Wu Xie, to use a method against Master. Methods to create clones were convenient but they also exposed a weakness. In this world, nothing was perfect. With benefit came cost. Clone methods had many demerits, the main thing was that their connection to the main body could be exploited. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's split soul had a weakness that was exposed long ago. It was the sharing of attainment level. It was an advantage and also a disadvantage. When Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's clone created Sovereign Immortal Fetus GU, a vast amount of attainment levels were expended, forming dream realms. This caused Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's own attainment level to fall as well. Regardless of the intention of the three Heavenly Court Immortals, the Shadow Sect Immortals had survived because of them. Far away, Feng Zhuzhe shook his head. Be it the Shadow Sect Immortals or Heavenly Court's three Immortals, their efforts were all in vain. As expected, the number of soul balls continued to increase, they grew to a scale that the five Immortals had trouble defending against. Be it Fairy Ziwei or Duke Mei, they were all in desperation. Is this the might of a Venerable? Spectral Soul Demon Venerable has lost his senses and even has such heavy injuries, damn it. The Heavenly Court Immortals could not save the Shadow Sect Immortals, they were implicated instead and became Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's next targets. At the next moment, a huge number of soul balls would explode intensely and take the lives of these five Immortals at this moment. Feng Zhuzhe's expression changed. Oh, at this moment, he felt a vast power rampaging into the battlefield. This was the power of Luck Path, it was grand and vast. Luck Path is the representation of uncertainty. This power was initially small, but as the Luck Path Tao marks in the two heavens grew, a huge variable was created. Who is the source of this? Feng Zhuzhe pondered deeply. The power of Luck Path was so grand it was on par with a rank 9 killer move. Crack crack. The power of Luck Path changed the two heavens, it changed the entire battlefield. Originally, the two heavens were fusing together, Black Heaven and White Heaven were joining together piece and piece. The five Immortals were in the area of White Heaven. But now, the immemorial Black Heaven fragment flew towards them from afar. White Heaven had abundant light path Tao marks, while Black Heaven had more dark path Tao marks, because of the conflict of Tao marks. As the immemorial Black Heaven approached, White Heaven's fragment shattered. A large number of Black and White Heaven fragments created a huge current. The current swept like a torrent, bringing Spectral Soul Demon Venerable along with it. Without Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's control, the soul balls stayed at their spots without moving or exploding. We need to go. Using this chance, Fairy Ziwei brought Ying Wu Xie along as they flew into the immemorial Black Heaven that was right beside them. Wait, the three Heavenly Court Immortals quickly chased them. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable was swept away by the two heavens current, but after it weakened, he was freed again. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable was covered in injuries currently, Heaven Path Tao marks were carved all over his injuries. There were even fragments of the two heavens stabbed into his body, it was as if he was stabbed by countless mirrors. Because he was far away and due to the Heaven Path Tao marks on his injuries, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable could no longer sense Ying Wu Xie. He was senseless and could not use investigative or tracking methods. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable roared in anger and vented for some time before he was lured towards a nearby Grotto Heaven. This was Flickering Light Grotto Heaven. Inside, the leader of Flickering Light Grotto Heaven, GU Immortal Liang Jingjing, was already trembling in fear. In the past, with Flickering Light Grotto Heaven hidden and condensed into a tiny spot, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable would not be able to find it in his current state. But now, the fusion of the two heavens had reached the most intense moment. As a heaven vein node, Flickering Light Grotto Heaven was affected by it and got exposed to the outside world. Alliance leader, save me. Liang Jingjing did not hesitate, she quickly asked Fang Yuan for help. I am willing to contribute Light Heaven for a large amount of contribution points in exchange for Lord Alliance leader's help to save my Flickering Light Grotto Heaven. Liang Jingjing screamed out in terror. Light Heaven. Fang Yuan quickly received Liang Jingjing's distress message while he was unsealing the truthful floating ice. After receiving the letter, he learned of Light Heaven. Flickering Light Grotto Heaven had devoured many fragments of the immemorial 9 heavens, but its inner space was still too small. A certain generation's flickering light grotto lord came up with a brilliant plan to develop the grotto heaven, that was to create an artificial heaven. That was the source of light heaven. From then on, the generations of GU immortals of flickering light grotto heaven spent their lives to work on this grand plan, contributing everything into this. They collected heavenly light and refined them carefully, slowly expanding the light heaven of flickering light grotto heaven. Its current size had already surpassed the original space of flickering light grotto heaven itself. Fang Yuan quickly considered this. His original plan was to let Zhen Bu do stabilize the immortal aperture while he built more resource points and created more Dao veins. After that, he would absorb the primordial domain and gain a huge boost of attainment levels. With the attainment levels and stabilize the sovereign immortal aperture, he would be able to annex more grotto heavens of the two heavens. In the current situation, flickering light grotto heaven was going to be destroyed. Fang Yuan's plans were unable to keep up with the development of events. Fang Yuan was currently only a master in light path. If he wanted to defend flickering light grotto heaven, he would need to fight against spectral soul demon Venerable. If the battle becomes too intense and obscured heavenly secret fails, he would be exposed, causing giant sun immortal Venerable and star constellation immortal Venerable to attack him at the same time. And most crucially, against other Venerables, Fang Yuan did not have much of an advantage. Even though he had 2 rank 9 immortal GU, he had not created complementary killer moves to use them with. He also had refinement path as his main path, it was not specialized in fighting. If the Venerables end up fighting, I only have an advantage in immortal essence. However, if they join up to suppress me, my immortal essence will be countered by their sheer number. I cannot save flickering light grotto heaven. Fang Yuan decided to abandon flickering light grotto heaven resolutely. Lord Alliance Leader, this light heaven is incredibly valuable, if you place it in the sovereign immortal aperture, it will be a great addition. Liang Jingjing urged, this was the only thing that she could offer to Fang Yuan now. Lord Alliance Leader, can you hear me? Please reply to me. Liang Jingjing stomped her feet in anxiety. But now, spectral soul demon Venerable had already arrived. With a loud sound, he destroyed the grotto heaven's entrance. Hundreds or thousands of arms entered the immortal aperture. Wherever they went, lives were slaughtered, nobody could defend against the might of the Venerable. Liang Jingjing had to hide in light heaven while she cried and sought help from Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan had an indifferent expression, he knew that this decision would affect his prestige, but fighting against spectral soul demon Venerable was even worse. These subordinates were only tools in his contest against the Venerables, he would not sacrifice his own benefits for just one of these tools. Chess pieces were pieces because they were meant to be used, they were also meant to be discarded when necessary. Fang Yuan, I hate you, I hate you. How dare you call yourself Great Love Immortal Venerable? I was wrong about you, you are leaving us to die, you are not fit to be the alliance leader. Exclamation mark quote. Liang Jingjing cursed in despair. At this moment, Fang Yuan showed a joyful expression. He had reached a qualitative development in unsealing the truthful floating ice. His Heaven Path attainment level reached Grand Master. The number of Heaven Path Dao marks rose drastically, while other paths, attainment level also grew slightly. And most importantly, he gained Heavenly Secret Gu's Rank 9 recipe. Rank 9 Heavenly Secret GU. This was an unexpected gain for Fang Yuan. Even someone like him could not help but feel his eyes light up. It was really wise to not save flickering light grotto heaven. That was close, if I had interfered to save flickering light grotto heaven, it would trigger a battle between Venerables later. I would have been a step away from obtaining rank 9 Heavenly Secret Immortal Gu's recipe. This Immortal GU recipe came at the perfect timing, it was very useful to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan immediately decided that his third rank 9 Immortal GU would be Heavenly Secret. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2273 Giving Heavenly Court 2 slaps Chapter 2273, Giving Heavenly Court 2 slaps Translator, Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios' old immortal Yu was convinced, he gritted his teeth and said, does Heavenly Court have a way to relocate my grotto heaven? Qin Dingling smiled lightly, of course we do. The foundation of Heavenly Court cannot be matched by Longevity Heaven or Fang Yuan. Believe me, joining Heavenly Court is the wisest decision. Old Immortal Yu sighed deeply and replied, this is a huge matter, do allow me to return to the Grotto Heaven and hold a meeting with the other GU Immortals. We will wait here for the good news. Qin Dingling showed a very understanding demeanor. After old Immortal Hua Yu returned to the grotto heaven, he assembled the immortals and explained the situation to them. Although they were shocked, after 3 days and nights, they all agreed with old Immortal Hua Yu's decision to switch sides to Heavenly Court. Li Xiaobai was among them. He also agreed to join Heavenly Court, but he was feeling nervous internally. If Star Constellation Immortal Venerable used an investigative method on him, she might find out his relationship with Fang Yuan. But he was just one person, while the intention to join Heavenly Court had already been acknowledged among everyone. Old Immortal Hua Yu led the immortals out of the grotto heaven. They met with Qin Dingling and Zhen Shenguang. Good, good, good. Qin Dingling welcomed them as she said. Everyone, by joining the right side, not only will you gain immense benefits, you will also create a brighter future for your descendants. Old Immortal Hua Yu followed. Indeed, we should share such joyful news with others. I hope Lady Qin Dingling and Lord Zhen Shenguang can help. I am willing to take a risk and rescue more friends from this demonic heaven and earth great love alliance. Qin Dingling and Zhen Shenguang heard his words and laughed joyfully. With old Immortal Hua Yu taking the lead, and an example like Liang Jingjing, because Qin Dingling also used a luck path killer move earlier, their journey in convincing the rest to join them went smoothly. Several days later, nearly all of the human forces of the two heavens grotto heavens had betrayed Fang Yuan. They went to join Heavenly Court. To speak the truth, Qin Dingling had only planned to recruit old Immortal Hua Yu, but after they took action, the results were actually much better than expected. Such news could not be hidden. Soon, the entire 5 regions GU immortals went into an uproar. Heavenly Court is still Heavenly Court after all. Fang Yuan suffered a loss again. Earlier in Western Desert, Heavenly Court won and forced Fang clan to sell all their resource points as they fled from their territory. Now, Fang Yuan's influence in the two heavens has mostly been uprooted by Heavenly Court. Even though Fang Yuan is a venerable, he cultivates refinement path. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable is a wisdom path venerable. She is most skilled at plotting and making use of people's feelings. To speak the truth, I can understand why they chose to join Heavenly Court. After all, Fang Yuan did nothing and allowed Spectral Soul Demon Venerable to slaughter and cause destruction in the two heavens. This is not what a leader should do. There are even rumors that Fang Yuan took Liang Jingjing's light heaven without helping out. The GU immortals discussed among themselves. Every action of a venerable, no matter how small, was a huge matter in the GU immortal world. It would draw the attention of everyone. Many people started to guess what Fang Yuan would do now. Would he take revenge? Would he take action to pursue those grotto heaven forces that betrayed him? Or would he just take this loss silently? If I were him, I would definitely take action. Traitors need to be punished. If they have an easier life after this, what will the other members of the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance think? If they can betray him so easily, aren't they simply disregarding the status of Great Love Immortal Venerable? Maybe they are just bullying Lord Fang Yuan for being a newly advanced venerable. How can the pride of a venerable be provoked so easily? Soon, waves of discussion erupted, becoming the main topic of Treasure Yellow Heaven. Hee. Wu Yang smiled coldly. He did not need to guess to know that this discussion was driven by Longevity Heaven. If he could force Heaven Refining Demon Venerable and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable to enter battle from this, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable would benefit immensely. Fang Yuan will not make a move. I know him too well. Wu Yang looked in the direction of Eastern Sea as he sighed deeply. If it were him, he would not do anything either. If a move was made, Fang Yuan would need to fight against Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. This was extremely disadvantageous. With the contest of 3 venerables, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable clearly has the upper hand. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable have their stronghold respectively, while Fang Yuan lacks in this aspect while also having the least immortal essence. In this situation, he needs to be even more vigilant. If he takes action abruptly, he will likely be disadvantaged even further. The rumors should be true. Fang Yuan took the light heaven but did not help her. In this aspect, I cannot compare to him. Comparing himself to Fang Yuan, Wu Yang reflected upon himself and felt that his shamelessness was still not enough. He had much to learn. What were reputation and prestige? They were just elements that were necessary to survive or gain victory. If reputation or prestige were not useful for survival or claiming victory, then they should be discarded immediately. When it was time to be shameless, one needed to be resolutely shameless. It is time to join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Bright light flickered in Wu Yang's eyes continuously. Right when everyone thought poorly of Fang Yuan and felt that he was the weakest among the 3 venerables, Wu Yang made a decision that was the opposite of everyone else. Fang Yuan accepted it without hesitation. Once news spread, Southern Borders GU Immortal World became shocked, the entire 5 regions GU Immortal World was shaken. Fang clan who joined the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance lost their territory and had to flee. A large number of super forces in the 2 heavens also left the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. In this situation, Wu clan went against the trend and publicly joined the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. This was a questionable action that drew disdain from others. Southern Borders GU Immortal World was shaken, doubts towards Wu Yang soon rose and erupted into a storm. But Wu clan, who was at the center of the storm, stayed united against all resistance. No matter how they were targeted, they remained unmoving like a monolith, showing no weaknesses at all. Back in Western Desert, Southern Borders Wu Yang I've heard of his name long ago, but his courage and foresight are truly admirable. Fang Gong said in amazement. Fang Dichong nodded. I wonder how much benefit he obtained from Fang Yuan by using the entire Wu clan as the stake to publicly join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Regardless of the results, this is a grand leader with huge ambitions. Wu clan has been Southern Borders #1 super force for a long time, but they still made such a risky move. My Fang clan is far inferior to Wu clan to begin with, so how can we not have the same resolve as them? Fang Huasheng smiled. Third Supreme Elder is right. Our Fang clan has already rested sufficiently, all sorts of resource points have been transacted for Immortal GU, Fang and Lei and Fang Chen have also returned already, and our Immortal GU houses have been improved further. It is time to take action. Fang Leng shouted with great enthusiasm. Fang clan lost all their territory, they became a roaming force without a base. But in this situation, youngsters like Fang Leng grew up and matured rapidly, they became more proactive and enthusiastic. Fang Dichong looked towards the other GU Immortals as he said, what do you think? I think we can make a move now. If we stay cooped up in here, I feel like I will turn rusty soon. We need to show those super forces that bullied our Fang clan that there is a huge price to pay for provoking us. After seeing that their GU Immortals had high morale, Fang Gong became very happy. Good, we will teach them a lesson that they will never forget. The first Supreme Elder showed a clear attitude. Fang clan's immortals had shining eyes as their expressions became even more heated. Fang Dichong nodded lightly and tossed out an information path GU worm which turned into a map in the air. We will target this place. The immortals looked and had a change of expressions. They did not think that Fang Dichong would make such a decision. This is Earthly Flame Forest. This is Dong clan's #1 resource point. It is tightly defended. Is this too aggressive? Fang Dichong smiled. Everyone, listen to me. The Earthly Flame Forest is not made of trees but flame pillars from underground instead. After reaching a breaking point, they will spew out of the surface and form into flames that resemble trees. The cause is the fire path Dao vein underground. However, with the unification of 5 regions, the regional walls vanished and the earth veins relocated drastically. Thus, that fire path Dao vein is also shifting. Earlier, Dong clan set up an immortal formation there using the original location without any immortal GU. Currently, it is at the breaking point. It is like a paper window that can be pierced with just one strike. And most crucially, the mission board of our alliance has changed. Earth Path resource points are now exchanging for less contribution points while Wind Path and Fire Path resource points have grown in value. Thus, by attacking this spot, we can gain even more contribution points. After the Fang clan immortals heard this, they understood that Fang Dichong had planned this after much preparation and consideration. As expected of Lord Fang Dichong, Fang Chen sighed. Since Second Supreme Elder has decided upon this, we will trust you. Fang and Lei expressed her view. Then let us take down this earthly flame forest, ha ha ha. Old Ghost Bai Jun was Fang clan's slave GU Immortal, he also showed his stance. I can't wait anymore. Fang Dongshi rubbed his palms together. Although he had revived and retained his rank 7 cultivation, his immortal aperture was empty and needed development. Earlier, when the Fang clansmen were sold, he had gone to Xiaoyihu for a transaction but found that Wang Xiaoer had been bought already. As for the other Fang clan members, because of Fang Dichang's words, to play it safe for now, they did not buy them. Several days later, Fang clan moved out all at once, successfully assaulting Earthly Flame Forest. Fang clan had a huge force now while Dong clan had just lost their Red River Wheel. Dong clan's first Supreme Elder did not hesitate, he immediately requested for help from the other super forces. After Dong clan gathered many GU Immortals and several Immortal GU houses, they went to reinforce the resource point but found that it was in a state of ruin and destruction. Fang clan had not just retreated and vanished into thin air, they even moved the entire mountain-like area of the earthly flame forest, including the ground itself, into treasure yellow heaven. Western Desert's GU Immortals were shaken. The 5 regions' GU Immortals were stunned. Right when Dong Clan's first Supreme Elder hesitated on whether to organize a second anti-Fang alliance, Fang Clan struck again and targeted the other Super Foss's resource points. After succeeding, they easily retreated. The 5 regions went into an uproar. Western Desert's super forces started to become fearful, everyone started to focus on defending themselves. Fang Yuan did not make a move on the 2 heavens grotto heavens from start to finish. But Southern Borders Wu Clan and Western Desert's Fang Clan had taken action instead. This was like giving Heavenly Court 2 slaps across the face, creating 2 loud sounds that resounded in the entire world. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2274. Beneath the heavens and above the earth, I am the most dazzling one in sight. Chapter 2274. Beneath the heavens and above the earth, I am the most dazzling one in sight. Translator, Atlas Studios Editor, Atlas Studios Heavenly Court. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable let out a breath of air, her face was pale, she felt an intense weakness and fatigue spreading throughout her body. I finally created this formation, now, it is time for our human path to develop rapidly. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable looked at the derivation formation in front of her with much joy. After she refined all the wisdom path Tao marks in Heavenly Court, she did not set off immediately, instead, she made use of the time to quickly set up the derivation formation. Although Star Constellation Immortal Venerable cultivated wisdom path and star path, she was not weak at setting up formations either. In fact, she was even more formidable than most rank 8 formation path experts. Of course, compared to legendary formation path grade experts, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was still unable to compare to them in formation path alone. Regardless, with the full effort of Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, this derivation formation was finally completed. The core of this formation was rank 9 derivation Immortal GU. This was a legendary Immortal GU first recorded in less than greater than. It was once obtained by Limitless Demon Venerable and used in his Crazed Demon formation as the core. After the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable took this piece of truthful floating ice that contained derivation GU. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable used Heavenly Court's Heaven Path research results to unseal the truthful floating ice and retrieve derivation GU. Afterwards, she used derivation Immortal GU as the main core to establish this formation around it. Limitless Demon Venerable used derivation Immortal GU and the chaos outside the world to derive and create this truthful floating ice that did not belong to this world in essence. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable used the essence of the Crazed Demon formation to create her own derivation formation that was meant to develop human path. The development of a path usually took over 100,000 or even millions of years and the effort of countless geniuses and talents. But using the derivation formation, the path's development soared like a rocket, it shot up towards the sky with one thrust. After inspecting the derivation formation, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable checked the various wisdom path killer moves that she used earlier. These wisdom path killer moves could block detection methods and conceal her derivation formation, and also amplify Heavenly Court's defenses. Although the core Immortal GU of these moves were only rank 8, under the amplification of Heavenly Court's Tao marks, even if the other Venerables attacked at full force, they could last for some time. After everything was done, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable took a rest. This was something that she barely did. But her immortal essence had been depleted to a great extent. Although her immortal aperture was developing, the rank 9 immortal essence production could not keep up with her expenditure. Furthermore, in order to create this rank 9 formation, because Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was not a formation path venerable, she had to use up a vast number of thoughts. Come to speak of it, ever since Star Constellation Immortal Venerable revived, she had not taken a proper rest. The contest of venerables gave her immense pressure. After 3 days passed, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable immediately went to settle Heavenly Court's affairs. Heavenly Court's immortals and wills gathered for a discussion again. Qin Dingling came to report everything that had happened in the 2 heavens. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable gave her some words of encouragement. The 2 of them, Qin Dingling and Zhen Shenguang, had done a great job in recruiting most of the Grotto Heaven forces in the 2 heavens. As for the mysterious amplification of Qin Dingling's Luck Path killer move, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable also decided to spend some time making deductions on it. Northern Plains had no significant events happening, the demonic cultivators were gathering together under the pressure of Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. They were either recruited by the Huang Jin tribes or went to the side of Chudu, Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu, and Fairy Black Moon. As for Wan Clan, Fang Clan created a commotion and attacked many of Western Desert's super forces with great success. Western Desert's righteous path was having a huge headache now. Wan Clan and the others were seeking help from Heavenly Court. In southern border, Wu Yang created a commotion. He was already close to Heavenly Court, but he suddenly changed attitude and joined the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable rejected the request of sending help to Western Desert's righteous path, while mobilizing almost all of the GU Immortals in the Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects to create her star array calculation formation. Western Desert's situation was mostly led by Wan Zihong and Zhou Shangxin. Fang Clan is just a small problem. How many resource points can Fang Clan plunder? In the case of the Sovereign Immortal Aperture, it is too insignificant. The more Fang Clan attacks, the more clues they will leave behind. One day, their location will be exposed to us. Western Desert's righteous path is losing, but that is not the loss of our Central Continent's Heavenly Court. As for Southern Borders Wu Yang, let him go. Right now, Heavenly Court cannot send troops out yet. He is ambitious, but he is not even a pseudo-venerable. How many ambitious GU Immortals are there in the world? Only more will appear in the future. Right now, the fusion of two heavens has reached the most crucial moment. This is the natural development of the heavenly Tao. Now that spectral soul demon Venerable has lost his human nature, his actions are dictated by the nature of heaven. I have already deduced that there will be a huge change in the future. Central Continent needs to create the star array calculation formation to prepare for the future, when the heavenly Tao undergoes new changes. After Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's words, some GU Immortals pointed out their doubts. The creation of this formation is unprecedented in size and scale. I am worried that if we set it up without any concealment, the other Venerables will attack. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable smiled plainly. No worries, I have a plan. On the same day, Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects sent a large number of GU Immortals to gather above the sky of Central Continent. They started to place stars and arrange them according to the star array calculation formation. The number of GU Immortals involved and the height of their respective cultivation levels was simply unprecedented. Such a huge commotion immediately drew the attention of the GU Immortals of the 5 regions. It was clear that only Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had the ability to gather such a large number of people. The GU Immortals started to guess what ability was contained in this formation that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was trying to build. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had already returned to Longevity Heaven. His gaze pierced through the ground and into the Blood Sea at the bottom. It was rumbling with huge waves. At the center of the Blood Sea, there was a huge whirlpool. It is finally time. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable nodded slightly. This Blood Sea had been hidden in Longevity Heaven all along. It was created by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's clone, Blood Sea Ancestor. He wanted to create a blood path secluded domain of heaven and earth. Blood Sea Ancestor left behind countless blood path inheritances, including 9 true inheritances. He had naturally left behind the deepest profundities in Longevity Heaven. Blood Sea was one of them. Initially, this Blood Sea was small and of low quality, but after countless years of nurturing, it had already reached an impressive level. Before Giant Sun Immortal Venerable revived, he had already started making arrangements for Blood Sea. Blood Sea was very important for the current Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Thus, he let his subordinate who had the best GU refinement ability, Yao Huang, stay here to control the overall situation. Immortal Killer Move, Destined Birth Through Luck. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable activated this killer move. By combining the Luck Path method with Blood Sea, he could revive GU Immortals. Under the amplification of Longevity Heaven's Luck Path Tao marks, golden light radiated heaven and earth, penetrating deep into Blood Sea. Every droplet of blood water was dyed golden in color. Rumble blood waves rose and crashed as thunderous sounds erupted. The huge whirlpool at the center became more rapid and turbulent. Yao Huang had an exhausted expression. He had been guarding this place and using refinement path methods without rest. He was exerting his full effort without losing his concentration at all. Right now, he thought to himself with intense anticipation. Blood Sea has the power to revive people on its own, while Ancestor used his Luck Path killer move, Destined Birth Through Luck. With the combination of both, this GU Immortal who revives first will definitely be of great help and importance to our Longevity Heaven. Who will this person be? Boom! After reaching a certain limit, the blood waves exploded into a shocking tsunami of great height. The waves crashed into the huge whirlpool at the center from all directions, filling it up immediately. Blood Sea became tranquil all of a sudden. It was still turbulent earlier but became clear as a mirror now. The contrast was quite jarring. Suddenly, a pillar of light shot up from the sea. Next, more and more lights appeared. Over 1,000 light pillars pierced through the sea like dozens of sharp swords. A huge lump of light rose from Blood Sea like a miniature sun. This light was so dazzling that Yao Huang had to squint his eyes and use a killer move, but he still felt like his eyes were going blind. A light path Gu Immortal expert. In history, which person with Huang Jin bloodline fits this description? Almost instantly, a name appeared in Yao Huang's mind. As the dazzling light faded away, a Gu Immortal stayed floating in the air. He had no hair but his body emitted intense light in all directions. He was like a person made of light. He pointed towards heaven and earth with both hands respectively as he shouted loudly, "Beneath the heavens and above the earth, I am the most dazzling one in sight." Yao Huang was deeply shocked. There's no mistake, with this tone and temperament, it has to be him. Ancestor's eldest son, the legendary light path cultivator who left his name in history. Pseudo-Venerable, Light Emperor. At this moment, Light Emperor reacted as he looked at Yao Huang and asked, "I actually revived, who are you?" "I am the current generation South Desolation Immortal, Yao Huang." "You revived me." "I did." Giant Son Immortal Venerable spoke. "Father." Light Emperor was shocked. He blinked rapidly. "Oh, in that case, other than you, my father, in this world, I am the most dazzling." Cough, cough. Yao Huang interrupted. "The truth is, Light Emperor, in the current world, there are 4 venerables in existence, while 3 are in a deadlock." Light Emperor was stunned. He rubbed his chin. "Oh, in that case, other than the 4 venerables, I am the most dazzling person." "You are not the only pseudo-venerable, my son." Giant Son Immortal Venerable spoke again. "Ah, damn it." Light Emperor rubbed his bald head. He could not frown without any eyebrows, but he still showed a bitter expression. This era has many dazzling people. But it is not a problem. I am the Light Emperor after all. You were reborn at an opportune time. I have already checked that your fortuitous encounter is in the immemorial 2 heavens. Go there, my son. Giant Son Immortal Venerable's voice gradually became softer as he left. "Father, don't leave so hastily. Give me a few immortal Gu, how else can I shine brightly?" Light Emperor shouted. "Lord, don't worry, Ancestor has already prepared your immortal Gu." Yao Huang said as he flew over and handed him some Light Path immortal Gu. Light Emperor was feeling quite vexed. Just these. No wonder father left so quickly. It will be quite hard to dazzle everyone now. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2275 Another Declaration from Fang Yuan. Chapter 2275, Another Declaration from Fang Yuan. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios, to think that Heavenly Court will arrange us to be here. HMPH, where else do you want to be? Inside Heavenly Court. Everyone, it is too late to turn back now. Now that we have joined Heavenly Court, we have no alternative but to obey them. Having internal strife now is very stupid. The leaders of the various grotto heavens like Old Immortal Hua Yu, Liang Jingjing, and Granny Skeleton gathered together. Some of their expressions were quite unsightly. After joining Heavenly Court, even though their grotto heavens had devoured immemorial 9 heavens fragments before, Heavenly Court still had an effective immortal aperture relocation method to use. But these grotto heavens suffered immense losses after a forceful relocation. Furthermore, most of them were now gathered in the 2 heavens above Central Continent. According to Heavenly Court, their grotto heavens were arranged in accordance with the star array calculation formation below. They were all treated as formation cores. "Everyone, have you been well?" Qin Dingling smiled and flew towards them. The grotto lords were all expressionless, most of them were even snorting coldly. In the end, Old Immortal Hua Yu and Liang Jingjing were the ones to greet her. Qin Dingling understood the reason behind the emotions of these rank 8 Gu immortals. After these people joined Heavenly Court, not only did their grotto heavens suffer great losses, they were even used by Star Constellation Immortal Venerable as the cores of her star array calculation formation. This meant that if the 3 venerables fought in the future, when they try to break into the formation, these grotto heavens would be at the forefront to deal with such attacks. They could become sacrificial pieces if they were careless. Qin Dingling smiled as she spoke to Old Immortal Hua Yu and Liang Jingjing. Afterwards, her tone turned cold as she chided the rest. "We've already explained it to you. Heavenly Court's righteousness comes at a price. If not for the fact that we removed your grotto heavens from the heaven vein nodes, will your homelands still exist now? The other immortals' expressions changed. Qin Dingling had not shown such an attitude when she went to recruit them back then. But now that she showed her true colors, the grotto lords had no choice but to endure it. As subordinates, they had no choice but to give in now. Especially for the first batch of GU immortals like Granny Skeleton, their grotto heavens were situated in immemorial Black Heaven. They were forced by the circumstances to join Heavenly Court like old Immortal Yu and the rest. Right now, it seemed that the other variant human grotto heavens were still left in the immemorial two heavens. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable only destroyed the grotto heavens in White Heaven, he did not do anything to those in Black Heaven. Granny Skeleton and others felt very regretful, but at this point, what could they do? After scolding these grotto lords, Qin Dingling saw that their expressions became more respectful. She snorted coldly, "It seems that you've already woken up. Now, come with me to meet Lady Star Constellation Immortal Venerable." Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was not in Heavenly Court now. She refined Heavenly Court's Wisdom Path Dao marks and activated Wisdom Path methods to conceal the derivation formation. Afterwards, she left to refine the natural Wisdom Path Dao marks of Central Continent. But because of a shortage of immortal essence, and because her immortal aperture could not produce enough essence to keep up with the expenditure, she helped the Central Continent immortals with the arrangement of the star array calculation formation while resting. Under the lead of Qin Dingling, the two heavens grotto lords met with Star Constellation Immortal Venerable in the sky above Central Continent. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was currently inside Embroidered Tower. She used Dao embroidery personally to weave Wisdom Path and Star Path Dao marks in the surrounding 10,000 li, creating a beautiful work of art. After the Fate War, Reckless Savage Demon Venerable's method was obtained by Fang Yuan. After Star Constellation Immortal Venerable revived, she quickly modified and changed Embroidered Tower. Right now, not only was Embroidered Tower complete, it also became more profound and powerful. After personally seeing Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's incredible method, the grotto lords were deeply shaken. They paid their respects. Seeing them kneel in mid-air, the GU immortals of Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects who were setting up the formation became very enthusiastic and motivated. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable gave them a light gaze. She sensed their complex emotions. There was unease among most of them. Some also felt angry and indignant about their predicament. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable consoled them expressionlessly. "Friends, you are all humans. Having been freed from the demonic grasp of Eastern Sea, it is a great victory for humanity. Ever since ancient times, Heavenly Court has been the sacred land of humanity. It is the greatest homeland of everyone. No matter what your ancestors did that caused them to hide in the immemorial two heavens, Heavenly Court will not hold you accountable. Let the past remain in the past. Don't worry, Heavenly Court treats everyone equally. Whoever makes contributions will be fairly rewarded by Heavenly Court. In the future, your glory of having joined Heavenly Court will also be passed on to your descendants." Old Immortal Yu and the rest were still kneeling. After hearing her words, they expressed their gratitude and praised Heavenly Court's righteousness. They declared their loyalty and confidence in Heavenly Court. Eastern Sea. Fang Yuan looked at the rank 9 Immortal GU recipe of Heavenly Secret GU as he let out a breath of turbid air. This Immortal GU recipe was very different from before. Originally, the rank 9 Immortal GU recipe of Heavenly Secret came from the Truthful Floating Ice. It was part of Limitless Demon Venerable's foundation. He had obtained it from digesting the chaos outside the world. That was to say, within the Heavenly Tao of this GU world, there was no rank 9 Heavenly Secret GU. In order to pursue eternal life, Limitless Demon Venerable digested the chaos and gained many results that surpassed the current Heavenly Tao. Rank 9 Heavenly Secret Immortal GU was one of his gains. This was a great achievement indeed, but there was still room for improvement. After all, Limitless Demon Venerable died long ago. Even though he revived earlier, he was not a Refinement Path Venerable. In terms of Refinement Path, Fang Yuan was the #1 person throughout history. None of the Venerables could match him. Thus, using his own Refinement Path attainment, Fang Yuan modified this Immortal GU recipe to a higher level. It was truly exemplary beyond the limit of the world. Right now, Fang Yuan had a clear understanding of Heavenly Secret. This was in essence a Heaven Path GU worm, but Fang Yuan had once thought it was Wisdom Path. This Immortal GU was created by Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. At that time, he already possessed Heaven Path attainment. Afterwards, Heavenly Secret Immortal GU was refined by Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's Split Soul, Old Man Yanxi. It was destroyed on Yitian Mountain. Now, Heavenly Secret Immortal GU was refined and owned by Fang Yuan. he had refined it using the refinement path killer move Heavenly Light Ring. By activating Heavenly's secret Immortal GU, one could peek into the intention of Heaven's will. It could allow the GU Immortal to get an answer from heaven and earth. There were no events in the world that heaven and earth did not know of. It was as the saying goes, except you and me, only heaven and earth know. It could expose the secrets of heaven and earth. Even if the GU Immortal did not have any evidence or clues, it could directly lead them to the truth. But Heavenly's secret had a weakness when using it. Out of 10 activations, at least 8 would fail. Once the activation fails, the user would suffer a backlash of 10 to 70 years of lifespan. This weakness was actually created because people did not understand the true essence of Heavenly's secret GU. Heavenly's secret GU was a Heaven Path Immortal GU. A Heaven Path cultivator needed enough Heaven Path Dao marks to be able to activate it normally. When activating Heavenly's secret GU, not only was Immortal Essence needed, one also had to expend Heaven Path Immortal materials. This was like Fang Yuan's obscured Heavenly Secret. Without using Heaven Path Immortal materials, Heavenly's secret GU could still be activated successfully, but the price was that the amount of Heaven Path Immortal materials needed for the next activation would be much higher. This was why backlashes occurred that took the GU cultivator's lifespan. Lifespan GU was a Heaven Path GU worm. The lifespan of GU cultivators were actually Heaven Path Dao marks. Looking back at it, Old Man Yan Shi did not truly understand Heavenly secret GU. But this was a normal thing. Paths developed over time. The essence of GU worms was also explored and understood when using them. Understanding something required a process that took time. With this Immortal GU recipe, I can now advance my Heavenly secret GU. Fang Yuan did not lack Heaven Path Immortal materials. This was due to the unprecedented appearance of abundant Heaven Path Immortal materials when the two heavens fused together. Shen Shang, who was in charge of collecting Heaven Path Immortal materials, worked very hard. Earlier, because Fang Yuan wanted his human path cultivation gains but he only gave a portion of it, he felt very uneasy. For the sake of his clan and himself, he had to work very hard as compensation. As long as I refine rank 9 Heavenly Secret GU, the power of obscured Heavenly Secret will rise sharply, the two Venerables will continue to be deceived. But before that, I need to make another declaration. Almost all the human grotto heavens in the two heavens had joined Heavenly Court, while the variant human grotto heavens that remained in immemorial white heaven were wiped out by spectral soul demon Venerable. Regarding this, Fang Yuan had to express himself. Fellow cultivators from the 5 regions and 2 heavens, I am Great Love Immortal Venerable. Firstly, I want to give my blessings to the human immortals who joined Heavenly Court. Rest assured, I will not pursue the matter. How can I, Great Love Immortal Venerable, do something so petty? Regarding the destruction of the grotto heavens in immemorial white heaven, I am deeply sorry. Not long ago, I was hit by star constellation Immortal Venerable's scheme and could not go to deal with spectral soul demon Venerable personally. I have already sent my people to arrange for the retreat of grotto heavens. No matter what, I believe firmly that this world needs love and peace. War is something that harms all of us. Be it humans or variant humans, or even all life in the world. Why can't we all live in peace? Because of my beliefs, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable entrusted his inheritance to me. With such an aspiration, the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance was established. It is not a super force meant for world domination, it is the homeland of everyone, it is an attempt at peace for everyone in this world. Because of the actions of the two heavens grotto heavens, I reflected upon myself. I know that I was wrong, I was too restricted by traditions and the mindset passed down in history. Thus, I have decided. From today onwards, the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance is open to everyone. I will abolish all restrictive agreements, everyone is free to join and leave at any time. I, Great Love Immortal Venerable, make this declaration here and now to heaven and earth, I will not pursue the matter if you leave. Even if you do not join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance, I will still refine GU for you, transactions will be done fairly. Members who join my Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance will receive a 20% discount for GU refinement requests. That's right, 20%, a full 20% discount, you heard it from me personally. As for how to join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Very simple, you just need to pay a membership fee. In fact, even the fee that you pay will be converted into contribution points in the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. In the future when you request to refine GU, you can use these contribution points in place of GU refinement materials. Oliang Jing Jing, I did not take your light heaven out of greed. I have already converted it into contribution points for you. To the human GU immortals who have decided to join Heavenly Court instead, I wish you well. You are welcome to join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance anytime you want. I will not mind your status at all. Remember, the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance promotes freedom, fairness, and peace. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, the two heavens human GU immortals, treasure yellow heaven. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2276 Star Constellation, come join my alliance. Chapter 2276, Star Constellation, come join my alliance. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. In the sky above Central Continent, the boundless star array calculation formation could be seen in its initial form. A large number of Central Continent GU immortals were moving around rapidly. Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance, Xiao Xuanzi set up the formation while muttering to himself, thinking hard about the situation. Sister Bai Qing, do you think we can join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance? Not far away, Rainbow Butterfly Immortal Concubine Han Kai Shin transmitted and asked. Fairy Bai Qing wore a white gown with a green belt around the waist. She smiled plainly upon hearing this. Kai Shin, are you interested? How can I not be? A full 20% discount with no restrictions on entering or leaving the alliance. This is such a huge bargain. If I were not from Spirit Butterfly Valley, I would have joined already. Sister, aren't you moved? Han Kai Shin asked. Han Kai Shin had colorful butterflies flying around her as she placed many GU worms at their designated locations. Fairy Bai Qing pondered to herself. Although she was a GU immortal of Spirit Affinity House, she had a close relationship with Han Kai Shin. They called each other sisters in private. She knew the intention behind Han Kai Shin's question. It was because Fairy Bai Qing's daughter was Feng Jin Huang. She was close to Heavenly Court as a result. But Fairy Bai Qing shook her head. I can't be certain about this. Maybe we can ask He Feng Yang. In the past, Fairy Bai Qing might state her own opinion, but after Fairy Ziwei's and Feng Juji's betrayal, Fairy Bai Qing started to act with caution. Little 9, get to work. After arranging this Star Path Immortal GU, we will retreat immediately. Far away, He Feng Yang secretly transmitted to the Nine Palace Crane. He had had enough. After Fang Yuan's second declaration, everyone knew of the great advantage of joining the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Most importantly, they could leave at will and there were no restrictions at all. He Feng Yang became the target of everyone's inquiry as they assessed him closely. He Feng Yang was instructed by Star Constellation Immortal Venerable to openly hold an Immortal GU transaction with Fang Yuan. Setting aside what the Heavenly Court members thought of it, currently, the GU immortals of Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects were all moved. Who did not lack Immortal GU? Especially after the 5 regions became one and the regional walls vanished, Chi tide swept the world while heaven veins and earth veins merged, all sorts of immortal materials appeared like a pouring foundation. Among them, Earth Path, Chi Path, and Heaven Path were most abundant. The GU immortals had a lot of immortal materials. The transactions in Treasure Yellow Heaven also increased in frequency, but GU immortals still had few immortal GU. Everyone was specialized in one field. If one was not a refinement path GU immortal, their success rate of refining immortal GU was just too low. From ancient times until now, after 3 million years of human domination, the pain of GU refinement had never been lifted. Countless heroes and geniuses had sunk into this bottomless pit of agony throughout their lives. Only a number of refinement path great experts could achieve major success, but their radiance could not reach everyone. Most GU immortals were disheartened by their GU refinement attempts, but they still had to continue trying regardless. It was a painful but helpless process. Now, there was a refinement path Venerable. He was not like any other GU immortal either. He was very special. He created the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance and publicly held transactions in Treasure Yellow Heaven to refine immortal GU for others. This made all the GU immortals who were drowning in despair feel hopeful. This was a type of warmth that entered their hearts. Most GU immortals were moved. No matter how hypocritical Fang Yuan's great love declaration was, the benefits were still presented in front of everyone. But the status of Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects became their restriction. These GU immortals were mindful of Heavenly Court's attitude. Thus, they all looked towards He Feng Yang as an indicator. He was the first person in Central Continent's righteous path to make a transaction with Fang Yuan openly. Rumors said that this was due to the orders of Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. He Feng Yang had received Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's orders, but how could he tell them? Some things were allowed under the table, but they could not be spoken about. Once these things were exposed, the meaning would change. Thus, He Feng Yang had to keep his lips closed. But the more vaguely he spoke, the more others wanted to know. For example, Vicious Lightning Fiend came to ask him personally. Vicious Lightning Fiend had rank 7 cultivation level and was a famous expert. Compared to him, He Feng Yang was just a small character, but now, because of his transaction with Fang Yuan, He Feng Yang became renowned in Central Continent, everyone paid attention to him. Towards Vicious Lightning Fiend, He Feng Yang had to lower his head. Although he spoke vaguely and hinted about the situation, Vicious Lightning Fiend wanted a definitive answer. He Feng Yang faced immense pressure. But right at this time, another GU Immortal approached him. It was Immortal Monkey King Shilei. This expert had been rank 7 for a long time, it was rumored that he was trying to reach rank 8 now. When Feng Juzhe was still part of Central Continent's righteous path, only he was above Immortal Monkey King Shilei. Brother He Feng Yang, tell me straightforwardly, can we or can we not do it? Shilei asked openly. With this question, He Feng Yang's pressure became even heavier. Fairy Bai Qing and Rainbow Butterfly Immortal Concubine also asked him. Fairies, I don't know either. He Feng Yang was having a terrible headache. Brother He Feng Yang, try asking. Vicious Lightning Fiend said. He Feng Yang was near the point of tears. Brother, please understand, I am just a helpless subordinate. Vicious Lightning Fiend chuckled. You've known Fang Yuan for a long time, your relationship is not normal, how can I not know that? He Feng Yang felt aggrieved, he almost wanted to scream, I am really not close to this demon. He Feng Yang was still trying to find excuses to reply to Vicious Lightning Fiend without offending him when suddenly, Shilei directly suggested, I have a good idea, brother, join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance now, I'm sure Star Constellation Immortal Venerable will not punish you. He Feng Yang's eyes turned in their sockets, only the whites showing, he felt like he would rather pass out. While He Feng Yang was in a tight spot, Liang Jingjing was also facing a tough predicament. Her divine sense had already entered Treasure Yellow Heaven to communicate with Fang Yuan's will. After knowing that Light Heaven was converted into a large sum of contribution points in the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance, she felt conflicted. She felt terrible, this was a huge sum of contribution points, it would hurt her too much to give up on them. Liang Jingjing still had 2 GU Immortals with her, because Flickering Light Grotto Heaven was destroyed, in this situation, she needed cultivation resources badly. But Heavenly Court would not help her for no reason. She had to make good use of every cultivation resource, starting all over again. Thus, the contribution points from giving up Light Heaven became her greatest temptation. Liang Jingjing was not afraid that Fang Yuan would go back on his words. After all, he had made a public declaration. If Liang Jingjing decided to join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance again, Fang Yuan would definitely follow through in order to show the world that he was serious. Liang Jingjing was afraid of Heavenly Court and the other GU Immortals in the world. She had just betrayed Fang Yuan to join Heavenly Court, if she joined the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance again at this time, how would Heavenly Court feel? How would the entire world feel about it? At this moment, Liang Jingjing could not deny that she was feeling regretful. Of course, her hatred and anger towards Fang Yuan was still dominant and had not wavered. Inside the Sovereign Immortal Aperture, Fang Yuan started to officially refine Heavenly Secret GU. This was his 3rd rank 9 Immortal GU. Fang Yuan was very confident in this GU refinement attempt compared to the previous 2. Because for this GU refinement session, he had made the most extensive preparation possible. While refining GU, Fang Yuan considered the big picture. Now that he reduced the criteria for joining the alliance, a huge commotion was caused, the influence would only become deeper later on. Lord Great Love Immortal Venerable, I am Shang Dao Fan, may I join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance? A southern border GU Immortal contacted Fang Yuan's will in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Actually, by now, many GU Immortals had already contacted Fang Yuan's will, but this was the first person that stated his intention to join. You can join after paying a membership fee. Fang Yuan's will replied plainly. A single person's membership fee and a super force's membership fee were different. Shang Dao Fan asked, can I join secretly? Fang Yuan's will nodded in agreement. Then I will join the alliance. Shang Dao Fan replied immediately, he made arrangements with Fang Yuan's will on where and when to transact the resource point. Indeed, the membership fees for joining the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance were resource points. Shang Dao Fan is a peripheral member of Shang Clan, but now, he was sent as a representative by Shang Clan to join my Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Fang Yuan instantly understood that this was Shang Clan's move. The resource points that he requested for were beyond Shang Dao Fan's personal capabilities. But during the talk, he agreed immediately. It was evident that Shang clan was backing him in this. Although Shang clan does not have Wu clan's resolve, they are capable of seeing the big picture regardless. Fang Yuan smiled. This was just the start. Soon, with Fang clan's agitation and Wu clan's lead, more and more super forces would try their luck. These super forces would likely behave like Shang clan by first sending one member over to make use of the benefits of being a member of the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. But this was all within Fang Yuan's plan. By giving them some benefits first, when these super forces could no longer live without him, Fang Yuan would start to restrict the number of immortal GU each person could request to refine. Afterwards, these super forces would send even more GU immortals to join him, they might even come to him as a whole. Of course, Fang Yuan would not restrict them. If they wanted to leave the alliance, they could do so at any time. While refining the immortal GU, Fang Yuan used information path methods to contact Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, have you been well? Fang Yuan greeted with a warm attitude. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable quickly replied, I've been well, but some accusations arrived at me from nowhere. Great love, do you have anything to tell me regarding this? Fang Yuan laughed heartily. To speak the truth, Lady Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, I am here to lend you a hand. I've heard that you are undergoing a huge project recently to create a super immortal formation that covers the whole of Central Continent. To make such a huge formation, you will need many immortal GU. And I, Great Love Immortal Venerable, happen to excel in this aspect. Why don't you join my Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance? You will enjoy a 20% discount, that will save you a great sum. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable laughed. She was laughing from anger. Chapter 2277 Spectral Soul Destroys the Sun. Chapter 2277 Spectral Soul Destroys the Sun. Regarding Fang Yuan's shamelessness, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable could not do anything but amazement. She had no choice but to admit that Fang Yuan's second declaration was a brilliant move that dealt with the situation effectively. Fang Yuan lowered the entry and exit criteria for the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. He did not consider the loyalty of these members, creating a whole new commotion. Using benefits to lure them, he displayed the advantage of refinement path. This was something that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable could not match. They had no way of stopping him. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was certain. Right now, all the GU immortals in the world were greatly moved. Even the GU immortals of the Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects were thinking of whether they could join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance now. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable could restrain them and not let them join the alliance, but she could not stop them from thinking. Human minds were fickle, and in this entire fiasco, what did Fang Yuan lose? Basically nothing. Originally, he had taken in subordinates from Eastern Sea and the two heavens. They had no loyalty towards him. They had to join him because of the situation. It was not of their own will. It was unrealistic for Fang Yuan to depend on them if he wanted to attack Central Continent or the other regions. From Qin Dingling's success in making these people betray him, it showed that none of them had any loyalty to him. If there was only one venerable in the current world, everyone would be completely at his beck and call. But with the era of 4 concurrent venerables, as well as the contest of 3 venerables, these GU immortals were able to make a choice. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable snorted coldly. She knew that Fang Yuan contacted her not to show off or brag about his move. Fang Yuan's suggestion for Star Constellation Immortal Venerable to join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance was a joke. He knew that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable would not join the alliance and raise his prestige. Fang Yuan's true goal was to threaten her. Currently, Central Continent was assembling a formation of an unprecedented scale. At this crucial moment, if Great Love Immortal Venerable or Giant Sun Immortal Venerable made their move, it could easily cause the formation to crumble and fail. Fang Yuan has little immortal essence. He does not want to come and destroy my star array calculation formation, but he does not want me to succeed either. Thus, he contacted me. Fang Yuan had always been showing an anxious attitude as he used various immortal GU to exchange for resource points. It seemed like he was trying to raise the foundation of his immortal aperture to increase his immortal essence production. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable made many investigation attempts, but similar to Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, they could not see the truth that Fang Yuan was concealing. Thus, all along, she felt that Fang Yuan lacked immortal essence. This was a deep impression that he imprinted in her. She was not surprised that Fang Yuan contacted her. Immediately, she agreed to have a transaction with Fang Yuan. Heavenly Court would pay resource points, primordial domain, and immortal materials in exchange for Fang Yuan's refinement of immortal GU for them. The transaction was of a huge scale. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable even emphasized that the transactions would be done in batches. This entire duration would be quite lengthy. Fang Yuan knew that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was doing this to ensure her formation's safety. This was something Fang Yuan had expected. According to the arrangement of this incomplete formation, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was not making an exceptional formation, it was within Fang Yuan's tolerance level. Fang Yuan gave up on destroying it to obtain a beneficial transaction. This was an assured gain for him. Especially when he was refining Heavenly's secret GU now. At this juncture, Fang Yuan could not attack abruptly. But Star Constellation Immortal Venerable did not know this. It was even quite a surprise that she was willing to use primordial domain as one of the transaction goods. Before this, Fang Yuan had always been negotiating with Heavenly Court to buy their primordial domain. The primordial domain had much greater value to him than Star Constellation Immortal Venerable or Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had never agreed to it, but now, she was willing to give up some of the primordial domain to lure Fang Yuan into accepting the transaction. It is likely that in Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's perspective, I have not taken the primordial domain in Treasure Yellow Heaven because I lack methods to retrieve it. Thus, giving me a portion of the primordial domain now will not allow me to gain any advantage in a short period of time. To think that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable will be the first person to sell me primordial domain, I thought that I would have gotten it first through a blood path transaction with Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. While thinking of this, Fang Yuan multitasked and contacted Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Friend Giant Sun, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable has made such a huge move, the formation she is setting up must be quite important. She is the #1 wisdom path cultivator throughout history. With this formation's help, she will be able to scheme in the future without us even knowing it. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable laughed and quickly replied, so what do you want to do? Fang Yuan said directly, I am willing to join hands with you to deal with Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and destroy her formation. Wisdom path is not simple, we saw its power in Crazed Demon Cave. We really should not let her create this immortal formation. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable gave an ambiguous answer. That is a good suggestion, so, great love, have you considered Heavenly Lord Baizu's suggestion already? Fang Yuan chuckled. We can always talk about it. I have a lot of blood path research results and also blood path immortal GU. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had always wanted to buy Fang Yuan's blood path resources. Now that Fang Yuan gave in, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable smiled and immediately contacted Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. Heaven Refining Demon Venerable just contacted me, he wants us to attack your formation together. What do you think about that? Giant Sun Immortal Venerable immediately exposed Fang Yuan. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable snorted coldly to herself. She used a similar method to make a transaction with Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. The three Venerables continued to negotiate and plot against each other. As a Wisdom Path GU cultivator, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was superior than the others, she vaguely held the upper hand. Eventually, she gave up some benefits to temporarily appease Fang Yuan and Giant Sun. I finally stabilized these two, but if the formation I am making is any stronger, this situation will be harder to deal with. It was not that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable lacked a better formation, but she could not create it now. If she tried to, the two Venerables would try to destroy it. There would be no way of talking them out of it. Star Array Calculation Formation was specially chosen by Star Constellation Immortal Venerable as it did not cross their bottom line. The two Venerables were willing to let her create it in exchange for some personal benefits. This was the precise control of the situation that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had in this contest of three Venerables. Of course, the most important thing is still Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable thought to herself, the reason why both Venerables are willing to watch on the fence is because of Spectral Soul Demon Venerable primarily. Compared to Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's formation was nothing. Outstanding. The three Venerables were paying close attention to Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's actions. As what they expected, after getting rid of the White Heaven Grotto heavens that Spectral Soul Demon Venerable could sense, he went after the sun. Within the fused two heavens, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable charged towards the sun like a mountain-like shadowy figure. This scene was seen through Fang Yuan's investigative method. He pondered, back then, I used up White Heaven's heavenly spirit, causing Spectral Soul Demon Venerable to be unable to control immemorial White Heaven directly. He has only devoured Black Heaven's heavenly spirit, so he can only devour immemorial White Heaven through the entire immemorial Black Heaven. Right now, among the two heavens grotto heavens, those from White Heaven are basically all destroyed. The heaven vein nodes that are contained within these grotto heavens have all been destroyed by spectral soul demon Venerable. As for longevity heaven and heavenly court, they have tight defenses that prevent spectral soul demon Venerable from detecting them in his current state. Thus, his only target now is the sun. Spectral soul demon Venerable charged towards the sun, but this attempt was different from before. He shouted and roared with unprecedented determination and killing intent. However, the closer he got to the sun, the more obstruction he felt from the massive number of fire path and light path Tao marks. Spectral soul demon Venerable's body started to melt like a candle. Tiny flames could be seen appearing on his entire body. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable looked at the immemorial two heavens while paying close attention to this situation. He evaluated internally. The sun has existed since immemorial times. It has vast and boundless power. It is the largest heaven vein node in the entire world. It is also the greatest light vein and fire vein node in the two heavens. Even in my previous life, when I was at my strongest, I could not deal with the sun easily. Now that spectral soul demon Venerable has lost his mind, it will be even harder for him to deal with it. When Giant Sun Immortal Venerable was alive back then, he was invincible in the world. He could naturally destroy the sun. But doing that had no advantage to him. It was even very harmful to the myriad lifeforms. Thus, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable did not do that. Eventually, spectral soul demon Venerable charged into the sun as countless black pillar-like arms stretched out and grabbed at it. His colossal body slammed into the sun and caused flames to flicker. At the same time, he suffered severe injuries. His body melted rapidly as a vast number of light path and fire path Tao marks were carved on him. All of his accumulated soul path Tao marks were rapidly breaking apart. Spectral soul demon Venerable's three heads were screaming out in pain. His eyes became filled with anger and hatred. Following his instincts, he activated a defensive killer move as a layer of eerie light covered his whole body. Black smoke gushed out fiercely and resisted the immense power of the sun. Spectral soul demon Venerable managed to control the situation for now. Star constellation Immortal. Venerable stayed in embroidered tower as she looked out of the window. The sun is a congregation of heaven path, light path, and fire path Tao marks. It is tangible but not solid. It can be seen as a tribulation that has been ongoing for countless years. It had started accumulating since the start of the world. Thus, even though it is not a chaotic disaster, it is hard to deal with even for a Venerable. By attacking the sun, spectral soul demon Venerable will likely end up badly alongside it. By then, it will be time to make my move. If I can eliminate spectral soul demon Venerable, it will benefit heavenly court greatly. By then, I can even give in to the other two Venerables to a greater extent. Star constellation. Immortal Venerable understood when to yield and when not to. For heavenly court, spectral soul demon Venerable was a huge threat. Because heavenly court was situated in immemorial White Heaven, it was the largest heaven vein node in the world. It was just that heavenly court was concealed by star constellation Immortal Venerable's wisdom path method. Spectral soul demon Venerable could not detect it. But right at this moment, there was an abrupt change. A mountain-like beast escaped in fear while carrying a trace of the aura of a rank 9 Immortal GU. There is actually a legendary immemorial desolate beast hiding inside the sun. It has a rank 9 Immortal GU. Star constellation Immortal Venerable was shook. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's eyes widened. No, not just one rank 9 Immortal GU, it has another one. The three Venerables observed closely as the wild rank 9 fire GU within the sun was no longer concealed. After a few breaths of time, spectral soul demon Venerable arrived at the center of the sun. The remaining tens of arms stretched out and grabbed fire GU despite the intense flames. Spectral soul demon Venerable's left head opened its mouth and instantly devoured fire GU. Spectral soul demon Venerable cried out in agony. His left head was burning like a flame pillar. Without the support of the 2 GU, the sun exploded with a loud sound that spread throughout the entire world. At this moment, all lifeforms in the world looked up. They had fearful expressions as they witnessed the sun turning into countless lumps of light and fire, breaking up and spreading throughout heaven and earth. The sun was destroyed. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2278 Pursuing the Rank 9 Immortal GU. Chapter 2278 Pursuing the Rank 9 Immortal GU. This change had occurred too quickly. Even the three Venerables could not take action in time. Their original plan was to wait for spectral soul demon Venerable to go down with the sun, until they were both greatly weakened. Because spectral soul demon Venerable was following his instincts now, he would also want to survive naturally. Thus, if he got badly injured, he would escape. At this time, the three Venerables would target the greatly weakened spectral soul demon Venerable. In the contest of three Venerables, spectral soul demon Venerable was a huge uncertainty. There was still a chance of him regaining his sanity, thus, the three Venerables were in agreement that this uncertainty should be killed first. During the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable decided to cooperate to kill all the pseudo-Venerables first. But out of their expectations, the sun actually exploded first. Different from what everyone thought, the sun actually contained 2 rank 9 immortal GU and 1 mysterious legendary immemorial desolate beast. The sun's foundation far exceeded their expectations. With this foundation and the fact that spectral soul demon Venerable was not sane, it should be very hard to deal with, he would be the one to escape first. But the issue was that the legendary, immemorial desolate beast that hid inside the sun got shocked and escaped. Not only did it run away, it even brought a rank 9 immortal GU with it. Once this immortal GU was taken, the sun lacked a core. And its stable condition quickly destabilized spontaneous. No matter how strong a GU house is, it can still be easily broken from the inside. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable sighed as she thought of a logic in the GU world. This abrupt change disrupted her plan. Among the three Venerables, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was the one who wanted to kill Spectral Soul Demon Venerable the most. Because she understood the threat that he held towards Heavenly Court. Originally, she wanted to give in and accept some losses to lure the other two Venerables into attacking Spectral Soul Demon Venerable and killing him. But to think that this happened. Fire GU was a legendary immortal GU recorded in less than greater than, it was rank 9 but got devoured by Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. Forget about that for now, but the mysterious legendary immemorial desolate beast also brought away a rank 9 immortal GU. It had to be pursued. A rank 9 immortal GU was concerned, while a legendary immemorial beast was not hard to deal with for a Venerable. Because it was too easy to succeed, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had to race against time now. There were 3 Venerables in the world, she did not want the immortal GU to end up with the other Venerables. Be careful, fire is raining down like a storm. Fairy Bai Ching was the first to alert the others. Oh no, what do we do? Rainbow Butterfly Immortal Concubine looked at the sky and saw countless flames descending, she felt lost and helpless. These flames were too high ranked. Bright light glorious ring fire made up most of these flames. This was the heaven flame of the 3 flames in the world. It was a rank 9 fire path immortal material. One had to be a rank 8 fire path great expert at least to deal with it. But in the sky above Central Continent, there was a colossal immortal formation. Central Continent's GU immortals wanted to defend the formation, so they had to deal with these flames. Lady Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, please give us the orders. Shilei shouted loudly. Star Constellation sighed softly as she left behind her will and some rank 9 immortal essence, controlling embroidered tower to deal with the situation here. But her main body had left already. Heading for the 2 heavens. Eastern Sea. Fang Yuan was currently using investigative methods to observe the 5 regions. With the collapse of the sun, countless immortal materials are scattered everywhere. Among them, the light path resources are mostly flying around in the 2 heavens while the fire path resources are scattered onto the 5 regions. Fire rain is most common in Western Desert while least common in Eastern Sea. The reason was simple, conflict of Dao marks. In the 5 regions, Eastern Sea had the most water path Dao marks, while Western Desert had the most fire path Dao marks. Thus, the fire rain preferred to target Western Desert instead. These flames are top-tier resources. If they are gathered to a certain size, they can be made into fire path resource points. Especially the bright light glorious ring fire, this rank 9 immortal material is extremely rare and barely found anywhere. It is a prime opportunity to gain a huge amount of it now. I need to make use of this. Fang Yuan immediately ordered his GU immortals to head to various locations to collect the fire path resources. But regrettably, he had the most water path GU immortals and only a few fire path GU immortals, not to mention rank 8 fire path cultivators. Regarding this, Fang Yuan used his will in Treasure Yellow Heaven to make an announcement. Good news, good news. The Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance is holding an event. Quote, anyone who Collects enough fire path immortal materials can exchange them with us for alliance contribution points. If you collect enough alliance contribution points, you will be able to join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance officially. It will not cost you resource points. Quote. After joining the alliance, you will also retain the contribution points from exchanging immortal materials. Fang Yuan's will tossed out a list that wrote the details of each exchange clearly. Bright Light Glorious Ring Fire was listed at the top. It could exchange for the most contribution points. The GU Immortals of the world heard the announcement and instantly became moved. Originally, joining the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance required resource points, but now, all they had to do was to collect Fire Path immortal materials. For the bulk of the GU Immortals, the entry requirement fell once again. Fang Yuan's will added. This event will only last for a short while, the fastest ones will gain the most. Once I collect enough Fire Path immortal materials, this event will end immediately. Fire Path immortal material. What a pity, other than the Bright Light Glorious Ring Fire, if I go to collect the other Fire Path immortal materials, the gains will be lower than just collecting Heaven Path immortal materials. In the two heavens, Shen Shang was busy scavenging for resources. Quote. Are we not pursuing Fang Clan anymore? For what? Let Heavenly Court's Zhou Shang do it. Let's quickly collect these Fire Path immortal materials, we can use some ourselves while selling the rest to Great Love Immortal Venerable. This opportunity will not knock twice. More and more GU Immortals in Western Desert started to move out. Southern border. Wu Yong led Wu Clan's GU Immortals as they started to move around with lightning speed. Benefits tempted everyone. A large number of GU Immortals in the 5 regions were mobilized by Fang Yuan as a result. As for Fang Yuan, he personally headed into the two heavens. The destruction of the sun also affected his plan. Originally, he wanted to wait for Spectral Soul Demon Venerable and the sun to both get weakened. If his refinement of Heavenly Secret GU succeeded in time, he would be able to gain some benefits from Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. But now, he had to refine Heavenly Secret GU while keeping up with the facade. Thus, he had to enter the two heavens and pretend that he was trying to go after the rank 9 Immortal GU. This was the normal reaction and behavior that he should have. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable were brilliant people. Fang Yuan had to do this to avoid exposing himself. After the sun was destroyed, the 5 regions became dim. Mortal GU masters were fearful and shocked while other lifeforms also panicked. The crying and growling of beasts and birds could be heard everywhere. This was an unprecedented change. A large-scale panic was unavoidable. Starlight flickered randomly as a legendary immemorial desolate beast charged out while bathed in blood. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was the first to arrive. She waved her hand as the blood and scales that were left in the air gathered in her hands. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable quickly made deductions with her Wisdom Path Immortal Killer move. This is Yutian Guang. She quickly deduced the identity of this legendary immemorial beast. She felt a little shocked. Yutian Guang and Zuo Yiwei had once terrorized the 5 regions. They whipped up a bloody storm. They were extremely crafty. They worked together, and whenever a demon venerable or immortal venerable was alive, they would hide and not show up. But eventually, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable brought peace to the world and killed Yutian Guang. This was recorded in history. But Yutian Guang is actually alive. Did it fake its death? Could it fake its death in front of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable? Or does that mean this is part of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's arrangement? At this moment, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable thought of many things. The situation had gotten quite mysterious and complex. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable pursued the beast while analyzing to herself. The more she thought about it, the more she felt that this was Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's move. According to the situation in Crazed Demon Cave, originally, once Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable revived, he would become a Heaven Path Venerable. That would allow him to gain an immense advantage in the two heavens. Especially after he refines all the Heaven Path Dao marks in the two heavens, he would be able to control all the Heaven Vein nodes. By then, Heavenly Court and Longevity Heaven would be greatly threatened by him. The sun was also a Heaven Vein node. Back then, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable intentionally placed Yutian Guang inside the sun as an arrangement for him to capture the sun in the future. Thankfully, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable is dead now. From this aspect, I should thank Fang Yuan instead. The moment Star Constellation Immortal Venerable thought of Fang Yuan, he appeared before her. Friend Star Constellation, we meet again. Fang Yuan smiled as he greeted. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable snorted coldly internally, but she showed a kind smile on her face. Her demeanor was extremely elegant. The two had a warm attitude, but their movements did not slow down, instead, they moved even faster. The two venerables were guarded against each other as they attacked Yu Tianguang. This Yu Tianguang had human form, its back was bent and its forearms were long, there was a horn on its head and its body was covered in scales that resembled countless mirrors that reflected light in all directions. Under the pursuit of both venerables, Yu Tianguang actually managed to escape time and again. As I expected, Yu Tianguang brought away rank 9 light GU. It has not been refined yet. This is still a wild immortal GU. Fang Yuan noticed the peculiarity. He sighed internally. Inside Sovereign, Immortal Aperture, the refinement of heavenly secret immortal GU had reached a crucial moment. He did not want to go after this rank 9 light GU. If he obtained it, the two venerables would attack him in a frenzy to try and snatch it. After all, a rank 9 immortal GU was able to break the balance. Between the three venerables, nobody wanted this immortal GU to end up in another's hands. But Fang Yuan had to say what he had to say. Yu Tianguang, I am best friends with your master Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. After he died, he gave his inheritance to me but did not have time to tell me about you. Quickly leave with me, I will ensure your safety. Yu Tianguang coughed out blood while shouting, that old bastard Paradise Earth, I was almost beaten to death by him, it took all my effort to hide in the sun to recuperate. I only managed to recover a little after sleeping for so many years. He did this to me, I will definitely not submit to you. That means this is not Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's arrangement. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was slightly stunned, she could sense Yu Tianguang's emotions, it was not lying. Yu Tianguang was able to escape by faking death in front of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable, it is quite amazing. Light Emperor who was hiding nearby thought to himself. He was hiding inside a black cloud, at this moment, he did not want to dazzle anyone. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2279 Retaliation of Three Venerables Luck. Chapter 2279 Retaliation of Three Venerables Luck. Immortal Killer. Move. Sword Tongue Dragon Soul. Fang Yuan's body shook slightly as 100 evil dragons appeared around him instantly. The evil dragons danced and paraded, they gathered into a group and encircled Yu Tianguang. He had used this compound killer move before, if he used it against Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, there would be a risk of it getting unraveled or countered. But now, Fang Yuan used it to trap Yu Tianguang. The evil dragons attacked Yu Tianguang from all directions, they bit, swung their tails, stabbed with their horns, or used their claws, some even shot out sharp sword chi with their tongues. In this dangerous situation, Yu Tianguang erupted with the strength of a legendary immemorial beast. It waved its hands and its body moved like lightning, the horn on its head was extremely sharp, in just a hole, 3 evil dragons were sliced in half. After a lot of effort, it managed to kill several evil dragons, but dragon souls came out of them to modify the battlefield. The more evil dragons that died, the more dragon souls that gathered, the battlefield was filled with soul path Dao marks that made the dragon souls even stronger. The situation was increasingly dangerous. Yu Tianguang tried to charge out from different directions as it fought a bloody battle, but it could not break free from the evil dragons. Sensing the danger that its host was in, the wild rank 9 light GU in Yu Tianguang's body burst out with its power again. A piercing light shone on the entire battlefield, it seemingly tried to escape with Yu Tianguang by turning it into a ray of light. Earlier, when Fang Yuan and Star Constellation chased after Yu Tianguang, this was the move that caused them to fail in capturing it multiple times. But now, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was already prepared. Starlight specks flew out and surrounded Yu Tianguang's body. The wild rank 9 light GU burst out with power, but the starlight specks suppressed most of its strength. It failed to escape with Yu Tianguang but caused it to suffer huge injuries instead. Rank 9 light GU was a wild GU, it was not in sync with Yu Tianguang, thus, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable found its weakness. But this was normal, even though Yu Tianguang and Light GU had been together for a long time, it had spent most of the time sleeping. Now that it was awake, with just rank 8 cultivation level, it could not refine a wild rank 9 immortal GU. Back then, even Star Constellation Immortal Venerable who had become Venerable spent 100 years to refine the wild rank 9 Wisdom GU. As for Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, he attempted to refine rank 9 Love GU and failed in the end. Yu Tianguang's blood spewed out like a geyser, it fell into despair. The enemies were too powerful, it had suffered huge injuries that caused it to become even slower than before. But it still struggled, for the meager hope in its heart that wanted to escape, it resisted. Don't come here, don't come here. Light Emperor hid in the black cloud and watched as Yu Tianguang approached him. He became flustered and anxious. Why oh Yu Tianguang coincidentally escape in the direction that led to him? Is this my so-called fortuitous encounter? Light Emperor suddenly shook as he recalled Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's words. He immediately understood that his fortuitous encounter was rank 9 Light Gu, but... Father, this is too much. Light Emperor glanced at Fang Yuan and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. He did not even dare to look at them for more than a moment in fear that they would notice him. Light Emperor's bald head almost wanted to hide in his chest. All along, his body had been emitting light, but now, he kept the light concealed as only a thin halo was left. But Yu Tianguang still came in his direction at full speed. At this moment, Light Emperor could feel nothing but hatred towards this huge fortuitous encounter. He did not know that Fang Yuan was feeling the same. The timing is not right. If this happened after I refined Heavenly Secret GU, I will be able to use my full strength to capture the Wild Light GU. Fang Yuan attacked and chased Yu Tianguang while secretly refining Heavenly Secret GU. Thankfully, he spent a lot of effort to modify Heavenly Secret Immortal Gu's recipe, using 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool, and with the help of the hairy man GU Immortals, Heavenly Secret Gu's refinement proceeded without a hitch. The following is the most difficult part, but at this time, I need to chase after that rank 9 Light GU. Sigh, Fang Yuan sighed to himself. He did not feel much attraction to rank 9 Light GU. Rank 9 Heavenly Secret GU had far greater value to Fang Yuan than Light GU. But the situation had progressed to this stage. Fang Yuan had to show that he was determined to take the Immortal GU for himself. Fate GU has been destroyed. This situation should have been caused by the contest of luck between the other 3 venerables and myself. Fang Yuan had a vague comprehension. Once Fang Yuan refined Heavenly Secret GU successfully, his strength would grow immensely. The benefits would not just be limited to obscured Heavenly Secret, there were other advantages too. But in that case, Fang Yuan's advantage would be too huge. Precisely so, the other 3 venerables were threatened by Fang Yuan. Although they did not notice it, their luck had already started to retaliate. The luck of Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable mixed together and attacked Fang Yuan in unison. Precisely so, at the crucial moment of refining Heavenly Secret GU, Fang Yuan faced such a huge difficulty and uncertainty. In this situation with the existence of 4 venerables and contest of 3 venerables, the current timing is a crucial turning point. Sovereign Immortal Aperture, Rank 9 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus, Rank 9 Advanced Refinement Immortal GU, my cultivation of Refinement Path and Heaven Path, as well as other elements like Obscured Heavenly Secret have given me a huge advantage that is deeply hidden. My luck is comparable to all 3 of them together. This comparison was under the situation where the 3 venerables did not know the truth. Because they cancelled out a portion of each other's luck, this allowed Fang Yuan to match them evenly. Once the venerables understood the situation and found out the truth, they would cooperate with each other and cause this cancellation to be smaller. By then, their collective luck would surpass Fang Yuan. If I get past this difficulty without the 3 of them finding out the truth, after gaining rank 9 Heavenly Secret Immortal GU, my luck will be higher than the 3 of them combined. After a qualitative change, when I refine other rank 9 Immortal GU in the future, I will no longer face such a hurdle. After making an analysis, Fang Yuan understood that this was a crucial fight. If it were to be said that becoming a Refinement Path Venerable was the foundation to resisting the other Venerables, then after refining rank 9 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus, Fang Yuan shortened the gap between himself and the Venerables. After refining rank 9 Advanced Refinement GU, the gap was shortened even further. It even deepened Fang Yuan's advantage in Refinement Path. And now, if he refined rank 9 Heavenly Secret GU, it would create the turning point in the contest of 3 Venerables. Once this crucial point was passed, Fang Yuan would surpass the other Venerables. He would have a true advantage against them. As star fog appeared, Yu Tianguang's path was completely blocked. Evidently, this was an incomplete battlefield killer move. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable wanted to use this battlefield killer move to trap Yu Tianguang and the wild rank 9 Light GU before dealing with them. Fang Yuan had not seen Star Constellation Immortal Venerable use a battlefield killer move before. He was hesitant now. Should he try to destroy it now? It was not something that he could not tolerate for star constellation Immortal Venerable to obtain the wild rank 9 light GU. It was very difficult to refine rank 9 light GU, while star constellation Immortal Venerable did not cultivate light path. After getting it, during the period that she tries to refine it, star constellation Immortal Venerable's positive luck would fall greatly. From the perspective of the situation, in order to prevent Fang Yuan from ruining her plan, star constellation Immortal Venerable would definitely give up more benefits to Fang Yuan. This was very beneficial to Fang Yuan. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan activated his killer move. Immortal killer move, 7 kills rainbow, metal paths yellow light, wood paths jade green light, water paths light blue hue, fire paths red light, earth paths brown light, wind paths green radiance, and lightning paths deep blue light. 7 lights from these 7 paths mixed together and shot forward in a drill shape towards Yutian Guang. Yutian Guang immediately sensed fatal danger. If he was hit by this move, it would definitely perish, alongside the rank 9 light GU in its body. But star constellation Immortal Venerable was guarded against Fang Yuan. What are you trying to do? Star constellation Immortal Venerable called out as starlight flew out, forming a veil made of stardust. It was like a wall between heaven and earth, blocking Fang Yuan's 7 kills rainbow. Fang Yuan's mind was also running out of thoughts. He had to refine heavenly secret GU while maintaining his defensive killer moves and movement killer moves. Earlier, he even had to use an offensive killer move like 7 kills rainbow forcefully. Fang Yuan snorted coldly but did not show any weakness. Friend star constellation, even if you want to get rank 9 light GU, do you think it will be this easy? On the outside, Fang Yuan showed an attitude of relentlessness. He was prepared to fight to the end. But the truth was, he had already made up his mind to destroy this wild light GU. If that failed, so be it. If star constellation Immortal Venerable got the GU in Fang Yuan's condition, he could not obtain the GU even if he tried. The priority was to destroy rank 9 light GU, followed by letting star constellation Immortal Venerable have it. The worst case was for Giant Sun Immortal Venerable to get it. Star constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable were not light path GU cultivators, but if Giant Sun Immortal Venerable got this rank 9 light GU, his own luck would grow explosively. That was extremely useful for Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. With his attainment in luck path, he would become much stronger. Star constellation Immortal Venerable sighed. Friend Fang Yuan, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable has not arrived yet. Are we really going to fight now? Fang Yuan smiled coldly. Why not? If I wait any further, aren't you going to obtain the rank 9 Immortal GU already? Fang Yuan and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable went into a standoff. Fang Yuan targeted the incomplete Star Fog Battlefield killer move occasionally, while attacking Yutian Guang and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable respectively at other times. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was worthy of being a wisdom path Venerable. Her mind was filled with thoughts. She managed to handle all the various aspects and keep her control over the situation. Although the situation was in a deadlock, it was clearly tilting towards Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. During the contest of the Venerables, Yutian Guang had already gotten severely injured. Rank 9 Light GU tried many attempts to escape with it, but Star Constellation Immortal Venerable blocked it each time. Seeing that the star fog was about to gather into a complete battlefield killer move, Light Emperor could not wait anymore. Dazzle them, he attacked abruptly using his strongest method. Blinding white light filled the entire battlefield. Light Emperor used all his effort to create a small opening in the star fog. Escape, escape, escape. Light Emperor desperately charged towards the exit. He did not have the energy to care about the rank 9 Immortal GU. He had waited for a long time before Fang Yuan weakened the star fog battlefield sufficiently without Star Constellation Immortal Venerable having the time to replenish it. Thus, he could make an opening in this battlefield. If he waited any longer and the star fog battlefield formed completely, he would have no chance of escaping anymore. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2280 Fang Yuan takes a risk. Chapter 2280, Fang Yuan takes a risk. The appearance of Light Emperor stunned Fang Yuan and Star Constellation. They did not expect that someone would be able to hide from right under their noses. This person has a profound luck path method on him. He must be related to Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's pupils shrunk as the star fog quickly gathered. Fang Yuan also made his move as he attacked Light Emperor. Light Emperor's eyes were staring wide open as he screamed internally, "What does this have to do with me? Why are they attacking me? I was just passing by. But immediately after, he turned around and saw that wild rank 9 light Gu shining in white light, as it came towards him with Yutian Guang. Light Emperor wanted to cry. He understood the situation now. The wild rank 9 light Gu had an intense instinct for survival. It stayed with Yutian Guang because this legendary immemorial beast had a lot of light path Dao marks that made it have a familiar feeling. There was also the fact that Yutian Guang was not strong enough to refine it. But in the hands of a venerable, the situation would be different. Light Emperor opened the only crack in the star fog. He was also a light path cultivator who only had rank 8 aura. The wild light Gu naturally came to him as an avenue of survival. Father, save me. At the moment of life and death, Light Emperor shouted loudly. Son, don't worry. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable flew towards them. From afar, he was getting closer rapidly. Before he arrived, his killer move had already appeared, blocking Fang Yuan's offensive method. Fang Yuan did not have enough thoughts now. His offensive methods were not as agile as usual, otherwise, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable would not have such an easy time blocking him. Of course, this was not strange in the eyes of the two venerables. In this fight between 3 venerables, it was understandable for Fang Yuan to save his thoughts in case of emergencies. After all, they thought that he had the least immortal essence. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable snorted coldly. She had already recognized Light Emperor now. She immediately used the star fog to pursue him and shorten the distance between them. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable activated his killer move again, Golden Aurora appeared behind Light Emperor and blocked the star fog. Could I have escaped on my own? I'm afraid that I would have to use rank 9 light goose power to get away from them. Oh father, you almost did me in. Light Emperor was a resolute person. Thinking of this, he gritted his teeth and turned around, grabbing at Yutian Guang. If you don't want to die, come with me. Light Emperor shouted as he brought Yutian Guang and the wild light Gu with him, escaping towards Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. While Yutian Guang was on the brink of death, it was currently in a stupor and unable to resist as Light Emperor brought it away with him. Furthermore, because they were both light path cultivators, they were naturally close. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable stomped her feet as her body flew forward like a ray of starlight. Midway, she tossed with her hand, Star Constellation chessboard flew out. At the other end, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable approached and opened his Immortal Aperture's entrance. Lux Suppression Heavenly Palace flew out. Star Constellation chessboard had countless pieces shooting out like a storm. Lux Suppression Heavenly Palace sent out a wave-like golden aurora that shielded Light Emperor and prevented him from getting killed by those pieces. But a large number of pieces still moved agilely as they attacked him. Light Emperor struggled intensely, his expression was malevolent. Facing Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's attacks, he dodged from side to side. When he could not evade some pieces, he would endure the impact. Thankfully, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's attack was already weakened by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's golden aurora to a large extent. Light Emperor had pseudo-venerable battle strength after all. He only suffered heavy injuries with blood flowing out of his mouth and nose, but his speed remained the same. Persevere, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable shouted. This situation was quite urgent. His son's life was at stake. He used his full strength as a result. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable gritted her teeth. She felt immense pressure from Giant Sun Immortal Venerable who was using his full strength. Seeing that Light Emperor was about to escape, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable fought intensely while shouting at Fang Yuan. Great love Immortal Venerable, how long are you going to continue watching? Fang Yuan had only made some moves after Giant Sun Immortal Venerable appeared. He did not use his full strength. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was quite displeased with this. Fang Yuan holding back meant a huge threat to her. If Fang Yuan and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable were colluding now in a setup against Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, she could not use her full strength against Giant Sun, otherwise, Fang Yuan would sneak attack her while she was unguarded. Fang Yuan was feeling quite troubled now. He had already done his best. The refinement of Heavenly Secret Gu had reached the most difficult part. He had to use a lot of thoughts and concentration on it. Fang Yuan excelled in the defensive aspect of Wisdom Path. In terms of thought production, he could not match Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. But his compound killer moves had a huge requirement for the number of thoughts. Persevere. Fang Yuan gritted his teeth while urging himself on. Giant Sun, take this. At the same time, Fang Yuan shouted as he flew towards Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Fang Yuan did not use any offensive method, he only adjusted the movement killer move that he had been maintaining. But simply this. Small movement made star constellation Immortal Venerable let out a sigh of relief, while giant sun Immortal Venerable became alerted. This was because Fang Yuan went away from star constellation Immortal Venerable and approached giant sun Immortal Venerable. It reduced her wariness towards him. Giant sun Immortal Venerable also had to save his son from two venerables. He felt immense pressure. He shouted loudly and activated more trump card killer moves. For example, this current method, Poor Luck Silver Hook. Fang Yuan's pupils contracted as he sensed a killer move approaching. The wind light fire lightning wheels below his feet rotated rapidly as he instantly left the area. The next moment, a pure silver curved hook appeared at the spot that he was previously in. The hook only appeared for a moment before vanishing again. It was so fast it seemed like an illusion. Fang Yuan continued to move around like a phantom. He did not stay at the same spot for more than a breath of time. Meanwhile, the silver hook continued to appear at the spots he went to, only mere moments away from actually hitting him. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was angry that Fang Yuan was still holding back now. He had Cooking Luck Pot's protection and could resist the silver hook to attack Light Emperor, but he chose to dodge the attacks, which was what Giant Sun Immortal Venerable wanted to see because it made Fang Yuan easier to deal with. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable did not know about Fang Yuan's true circumstances after all. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable has never used this luck path killer move before. If I get hit by it, my luck will fall greatly. Right now, with the retaliation of all three Venerables' luck, it would be a detrimental blow to me. Fang Yuan had a clear observation of the situation. He could not use offensive methods now because most of his attention was focused on the refinement of Heavenly Secret GU. But the two Venerables were hard to deceive. He was having a hard time putting up this show. Fang Yuan used various methods and overworked his mind, but his thoughts were still falling to a dangerous level. Heavenly Secret Gu's refinement used too many of his thoughts, while this battle was also quite dangerous. Fang Yuan did not even want to touch the silver hook. It was as if he was walking on a tightrope now. If he was careless, he would fall to a miserable death. This time, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable attacked Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, relieving some of the pressure off Fang Yuan. Light Emperor was already very close to Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable wanted to attack him, but Giant Sun Immortal Venerable did everything to stop her. Fang Yuan, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable shouted. I'll take a gamble. Fang Yuan's eyes shone brightly as he expended nearly all his thoughts to take a risk and activate Reverse Flow Protection Seal. Fang Yuan flew forward with Reverse Flow Protection Seal like an eagle diving for its food. He went towards Light Emperor with an explosive sound. Father, save me. Light Emperor was shocked by Fang Yuan's momentum. He screamed for help. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable endured Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's attacks forcefully and activated a killer move. Golden light shot towards Fang Yuan like a huge pillar. Fang Yuan did not dodge but approached Light Emperor instead, trying to snatch an Immortal GU in front of me. Die. Fang Yuan snickered with barely any thoughts left in his mind. Light Emperor stared with wide eyes in terror. He gritted his teeth as his body turned stiff as a rock. At the crucial moment, the wild rank 9 Light GU burst out with power. Blinding white light flashed in the entire battlefield. Fang Yuan was first hit by the white light before the golden pillar landed on him. He crashed towards the ground like a falling meteor. Thoughts were produced in his mind and used in the GU refinement, as well as sustaining his defensive killer move. He could not even use them to think. After a few breaths of time, Reverse Flow Protection Seal started to become unstable. If this move broke now, not only would Fang Yuan suffer huge backlash, the other Venerables would also notice his issue. Fang Yuan was in critical danger now. If the Venerables attacked him, he would have no way to resist. But this was all within Fang Yuan's plan. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable were fighting over rank 9 Light GU. They could not afford to care about Fang Yuan. With Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's protection, Light Emperor finally arrived at his father's location. Because Star Constellation Immortal Venerable attacked furiously, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable suffered considerable injuries. There was already blood flowing out of his mouth. The two Venerables faced off with sharp gazes. They collided in the air. Both sides were getting serious. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable gritted his teeth but did not make any rash move. He wanted to open his immortal apertures. Entrance to put Light Emperor, the fainted Utian Guang, and wild rank 9 Light GU into his rank 9 immortal aperture. But he knew that he could not do something like that now. As time passed, inside The sovereign immortal aperture, in 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool, the hairy man GU immortals were cheering loudly. The toughest step of refining heavenly secret GU was over, now, the refinement difficulty fell sharply, it was a smooth journey ahead. The number of thoughts needed fell as well. Fang Yuan soon had enough thoughts to think. He immediately realized that he was falling, he stabilized his body and flew towards Giant Sun Immortal Venerable again. When he saw that Light Emperor was standing beside Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, he became anxious and shouted, "We cannot let Giant Sun Immortal Venerable get rank 9 Light GU. In the worst case, we need to destroy it." Giant Sun Immortal Venerable snorted coldly, he looked at Fang Yuan with deep killing intent. "Go ahead and attack, I will make sure you pay a painful price." Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was silent. Fang Yuan hastened the refinement of Heavenly Secret Immortal GU while looking at Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, shouting with all his might, "Star Constellation, this is a rank 9 Immortal GU." Star Constellation Immortal Venerable had a cold expression, she was very unhappy with Fang Yuan. "If you had used your full strength, would we be in this situation?"